My name is Yu Ming Lei. I was supposed to be a rich heiress and a professional supermodel. Unexpectedly, at my own birthday party, I was poisoned by my boyfriend. No, he should be called a scumbag now, and my best friend. When I woke up, Yu Ming Lei had become a chubby mukbang streamer named Xiao Xinxin. Thinking of my previous wonderful life, I felt like the sky was falling. Now, Yu Ming Lei know, Xiao Xinxin has a scumbag boyfriend just like before. Our life is like this. Fate always likes to play jokes on you. Not only that, Xiao Xinxin also has a bunch of bizarre parasitic family members. She's not only mocked and ridiculed every day, but also occasionally set up and targeted. Now her family has started to care about Xiao Xinxin again, asking her to make a will, so that after something happens, all the inheritance will go to her so-called family. Yu Ming Lei, reborn as Xiao Xinxin, never thought that Xiao Xinxin's fate would be even worse than her previous life. Not only do her family members mock and ridicule her, but her boyfriend is also a scumbag. After all, Xiao Xinxin was previously a rich heiress, so she definitely has a temper. With a couple of slaps, she smacked her brother Dizzy and scolded him. If mom won't discipline you, I, as your sister, will teach you a lesson. Xiao Xinxin also made an important decision. That's right, to lose weight. Only by successfully losing weight and becoming beautiful can she better attract her ideal man. With her current experiences, she can also better avoid scumbags. So Xiao Xinxin found an excuse to tell others that as a mukbang streamer, only by losing weight and getting fit, having a good figure, can she attract more fans. In her imagination, how handsome and gentle he is. She liked him so much. How can there be such a handsome man in this world? Suddenly, Xiao Xinxin shuddered violently, thinking about how her company was taken away by her so-called best friend and that scumbag. She became furious. Now, Xiao Xinxin has done some deep introspection. How could she have been so stupid before to believe that pair of scumbags? She must have had water in her brain before. Never mind, never mind. Since she's living a second life, she must take back everything she lost. Back to the beginning of this time, it was when Yu Ming Lei was about to be poisoned. Yu Ming Lei's so-called boyfriend and best friend conspired to harm her, planning to seize her company. At this time, Yu Ming Lei didn't notice anything wrong. After all, it was a drink given by her boyfriend. But this one drink would become the key to Yu Ming Lei's new life. Yu Ming Lei never imagined that she would be harmed by someone, and those who harmed her were the people she trusted the most. The pair of scumbags beside her were still pretending, acting as if nothing had happened. The slowest Yu Ming Lei should have realized by now that she had been betrayed. But it was too late. This pair of scumbags even hypocritically called for an ambulance. Yu Ming Lei seemed to know. She reluctantly begged the doctor to save her. She still wanted revenge. She couldn't just die like this without knowing why. At this time, there was another person who would become the main character later, Xiao Xinxin, who was also dying from food poisoning due to overeating during her live stream. Whether it was heaven playing a joke or not, Xiao Xinxin and Yu Ming Lei's hands crossed. With a gasp, Xiao Xinxin sat up. Yu Ming Lei, who hadn't reacted yet, thought she hadn't died. Suddenly feeling something was wrong, she thought, what's going on? This belly, this face, why are they so chubby? This doesn't seem to be my figure. As if realizing something, she thought, how did I become the chubby Xiao Xinxin? Xiao Xinxin sitting up scared everyone around. They all shouted that she had come back from the dead. The scene was extremely chaotic with people coming back from the dead. Those who could run all ran away, shouting, there's a ghost! Run quickly. Xiao Xinxin couldn't care about all this. She rushed to the sink to look at herself. Seeing herself become chubby, she felt like the sky was falling. Xiao Xinxin, who hadn't yet reacted, thought she was still the previous Yu Ming Lei. She wondered why she was suddenly here when she was supposed to be at her birthday party, and why she had become someone else. The suddenly appearing man also startled her. Who is this? This man didn't care about Xiao Xinxin's reaction. He rushed to her side, grabbed her shoulders, and comforted her, saying, I'm sorry, I came late. But Xiao Xinxin's subsequent reaction made this man think she had lost her memory. So he hurriedly called for a doctor, asking what was going on with the patient's memory loss. After a moment of confusion, thinking about her chubby figure, Xiao Xinxin, who had come to her senses, ran out crying, shouting that she wasn't Xiao Xinxin. As Xiao Xinxin thought more about it, things seemed increasingly strange. Suddenly, as if remembering something, she recalled the actions of her previous boyfriend and best friend and realized she had already been killed. Thinking of this, she fell silent. At this moment, that man also came over to comfort Xiao Xinxin. He told her to rest well, as her body was still very weak. But Xiao Xinxin seemed not to hear his words. In her heart, she was thinking about getting revenge and taking back everything she had lost. This man saw Xiao Xinxin sweating profusely, thinking about her earlier behavior. He assumed she was feeling unwell somewhere and hurriedly wanted to call a doctor. Xiao Xinxin then spoke, recalling the memories of this body. She said she was Xiao Xinxin, a mukbang streamer, and that he was Chao Pengfei, her manager, and so on. Chao Pengfei, concerned about Xiao Xinxin, told her to consult with him in the future if she wanted to participate in such competitions. Xiao Xinxin clenched her fists and complained, "There's still a next time? No, there can't be a next time." Chao Pengfei seemed to sense something, feeling that Xiao Xinxin's way of speaking had changed. He thought it was because she was sick and in a bad mood. The current Xiao Xinxin was indeed not the previous Xiao Xinxin. So, she asked how she used to speak before. Manager Chao Pengfei gave an answer, saying that she used to be soft and gentle and would never object to anything he arranged. Xiao Xinxin knew that if she couldn't change today, she would definitely be suspected after succeeding. So she decided to make up a lie. She told Chao Pengfei that she had already died once, so naturally, everything had changed. Xiao Xinxin looked at the man who suddenly barged in and was startled again. Why did everyone call her Xinxin? And his tone was impatient, saying he wanted to go back as he still had to work overtime. Chao Pengfei, standing nearby, gave a hint saying, "This is your boyfriend." Xiao Xinxin was speechless inside. With her current appearance, she still had a boyfriend? What did he see in her? This boyfriend arrogantly said to Xiao Xinxin, "I've been messing around here for so long. I'll be scolded by my supervisor tomorrow." He hadn't realized at all that the current Xiao Xinxin was not the previous one and wouldn't tolerate his bad behavior. Xiao Xinxin told him to get lost and go back. Chao Pengfei tried to mediate, saying Xiao Xinxin had just woken up and was in a bad mood. The boyfriend replied that he could go back, but asked Xiao Xinxin to reimburse his taxi fare as he had taken a taxi to come here. Hearing this, Chao Pengfei was speechless. Xiao Xinxin complained, wondering what kind of people she had been with before, how they were all so weird. Chao Pengfei agreed, saying he had told her to break up long ago, but she didn't listen. She doubted if she had water in her brain before. Xiao Xinxin felt she didn't have any major problems now, so she wanted to go home quickly. She couldn't stay in the hospital for long. Chao Pengfei advised her to take it slow, as her bizarre family members were all there and would start causing trouble again. When Xiao Xinxin left the hospital, she saw a mother and son coming towards her and guessed they were her parasitic family members. Xiao Xinxin suddenly felt dizzy. Chao Pengfei beside her was concerned and asked if she felt unwell anywhere. Xiao Xinxin used this opportunity to brush it off. Just then a cold mockery came. "You fat pig, you're really tough. You didn't even die from this." It was evident how oppressed Xiao Xinxin was at home. If it were the previous Xiao Xinxin, she might have swallowed her anger. But now, she was Yu Minglei, a rich heiress. How could she tolerate their bad behavior? Xiao Xinxin's mother also pretended to care, telling her to make a will before dying and leave all her inheritance to her so-called family. Xiao Xinxin had just been discharged from the hospital, and instead of caring for her, they were mocking her. This was unacceptable. It turned out that if Xiao Xinxin had died, these so-called family members would have received compensation, and a substantial amount at that. No wonder Xiao Xinxin's boyfriend had rushed to the hospital earlier. His purpose was for this compensation. Now that Xiao Xinxin had come back to life, they all felt uneasy. Xiao Xinxin sighed, feeling that her current situation was even worse than before. At least before, she had family members accompanying her. Now, even her family didn't wish her well. She had to change herself, make everyone look at her differently, and make her family regret everything they were doing now. Xiao Xinxin, now enraged, rushed up to her brother and slapped him twice hard across the face. The brother was left dazed and confused, in a state of bewilderment. He never imagined that his weak sister would actually hit him. The brother then reacted, preparing to strike back. He thought to himself that he was protected by his mother, so how could he be hit by this weak sister? At that moment, Chao Pengfei grabbed Xiao Xinxin's brother's swinging hand and reprimanded him. He scolded the brother, asking if he didn't deserve to be hit for disrespecting his elders. Xiao Xinxin wasn't even dead yet, and he was already insulting her and trying to divide the money. It was too unsightly. Xiao Xinxin observed the manager's actions. On the surface, she thought it was not bad, but she didn't know if he was helping her because she could make money for him. She would have to spend more time with him to find out. Looking back at her brother who had been pushed to the ground and her mother who was stunned, Qiao Pengfei's righteous intervention made Xiao Xinxin see him in a new light, and she couldn't help but feel favorably towards him. After the commotion, Qiao Pengfei suggested taking Xiao Xinxin home to rest. After all, so much had happened, and the newly revived Qiao Xinxin needed time to calm down. After they left, the mother and son discussed their so-called daughter behind her back, feeling that she seemed like a different person, not like the soft and gentle Qiao Xinxin from before. On the way back, the two of them were sizing each other up, not knowing what the other was thinking. A sudden little Fei caught Qiao Pengfei off guard. What was going on? Had Qiao Xinxin developed a fever, or was something wrong with her body? After all, the previous Qiao Xinxin wasn't like this. How could she now call him in such a sickeningly sweet way? Qiao Pengfei was stunned. He couldn't imagine Qiao Xinxin calling him in such a cloying manner. Qiao Xinxin began her plan to act cute. After all, with this figure, seduction was definitely not an option. She could only rely on being cute to maintain her lifestyle. She thought about asking Qiao Pengfei to lend her some money to go shopping at the mall. This action scared Qiao Pengfei, making him break out in a cold sweat. It wasn't that he was unwilling to lend money, but Xiao Xinxin's current attitude left him unable to react. After all, previously, Xiao Xinxin had always been frugal, giving all her earned money to her so-called family and that scumbag boyfriend. He didn't know if it was just his imagination, but Xiao Xinxin acting cute seemed oddly adorable in Qiao Pengfei's eyes. Qiao Pengfei's hand involuntarily reached into his pocket, checking if he had money to lend to Xiao Xinxin. After a shopping spree, Qiao Pengfei had thought Xiao Xinxin would buy all sorts of food and toys. Unexpectedly, she bought a bunch of fitness equipment. This left Qiao Pengfei confused, wondering if she was really planning to lose weight. Xiao Xinxin patiently explained to Qiao Pengfei that as a mukbang streamer, how could she not have a good body? Only with a perfect figure could she attract more fans. Suddenly, an untimely sound broke the silence. Gurgle gurgle. Upon closer listening, it was Qiao Xinxin's stomach growling. After all, as a seasoned mukbang streamer, she had been hungry for an hour, so her stomach was bound to react. Qiao Pengfei kindly suggested that maybe she should eat first and then diet. This left her at a loss. Qiao Xinxin also had a temper. She said if she didn't want to eat, she wouldn't. After all, her previous figure could captivate thousands of handsome young men. Now, with this chubby belly, what was she supposed to do? Qiao Xinxin's tantrum somehow made Qiao Pengfei find her cute. Was this the feeling of falling in love? Ring ring. A phone call broke Qiao Pengfei's fantasy. The person on the other end of the phone said that Xiao Xinxin's food poisoning wasn't an accident. It was very likely intentional. On the other side, a streamer, whether a real mukbang streamer or a fake one, was posing and preening in front of the screen, even needing to be begged to eat ice cream. The fan's sincerity wasn't enough. She was just pretending and putting on airs, falsely saying she was joking and treating all fans equally. Just then, her phone rang. The person on the other end of the phone replied that Xiao Xinxin wasn't dead. After hearing that Xiao Xinxin wasn't dead, she felt terrible. After all, she had planned Xiao Xinxin's food poisoning. If she could eliminate Xiao Xinxin, she would have no competitors. The person on the phone had also done some post-processing. If they didn't, their future would be ruined. After all, there would always be traces left behind no matter what. After hanging up, she angrily smashed her phone. Xiao Xinxin was true to her word. For the sake of her figure, she went all out, exercising frantically, exhausting herself. She complained while working out. With her current body, how long would it take to get back to her previous devilish figure? She was on the verge of breakdown. However, Xiao Xinxin was determined for the sake of her figure. She cheered herself on, vowing to lose weight no matter how hard or tiring it was. She couldn't be mocked as a fatty for life. Time passed minute by minute, and Xiao Xinxin collapsed on the ground, exhausted. She didn't want to take another step. At this moment, Qiao Pengfei pushed the door open and came in. In his view, Xiao Xinxin's body hadn't fully recovered and shouldn't be doing intense exercise. Qiao Pengfei handed her a glass of water, advising her that she had just left the hospital and shouldn't push herself so hard. He wasn't sure if she listened, but she drank the water, not leaving a single drop. Xiao Xinxin was determined not to give up until she succeeded in losing weight. Time couldn't be wasted. She knew that time is precious, and resting for one more second meant being fat for one more second. Seeing the breakfast Chow Pengfei had prepared for her, she felt a bit touched. But feelings aside, eating such a greasy breakfast would undo all her hellish training. She expressed that she wanted to drink black coffee and have an egg. Chow Pengfei stood there in disbelief, wondering if Xiao Xinxin was really sick. The person who used to eat 20 pork knuckles in one sitting now just wanted a cup of black coffee and an egg. It was unbelievable. Xiao Xinxin went into the kitchen, made a cup of black coffee for Chow Pengfei, and handed it to him. At this moment, Chow Pengfei was still in a state of disbelief, marveling at how Xiao Xinxin had changed after her illness. She was like a completely different person. Xiao Xinxin smiled and said she wanted to completely change herself, say goodbye to her old self, and become a goddess pursued by all men. At this point, Chow Pengfei mentioned a name to her, Feng Hairua. Since Xiao Xinxin had just adapted, it was normal that she couldn't remember. Chow Pengfei quickly added, "It's the person who caused your food poisoning and sent you to the hospital." Xiao Xinxin expressed shock, not expecting such a dramatic thing to happen to her again. After all, it had already happened once. Xiao Xinxin asked why Feng Hairua wasn't arrested since she had poisoned her. Chow Pengfei expressed regret, saying that because she wasn't killed by the poison, all evidence had been erased. Now there was no evidence to arrest anyone. Yun Minglei, who had been reborn as Xiao Xinxin, never imagined that she had been killed in her previous life. Now reborn as Xiao Xinxin, she had almost been killed again. She wondered if fate was playing tricks on her. Xiao Xinxin immediately comforted herself, thinking it didn't matter. Taking revenge on two people was still revenge. One more person didn't make much difference. She would stand up for the previous Xiao Xinxin this time. For the sake of losing weight, she was determined. She directly asked Chow Pengfei to help her take time off. For some reason, Chow Pengfei felt that Xiao Xinxin's gaze just now was familiar. It was as if he had seen it somewhere before, but he couldn't remember where. After calming down, Xiao Xinxin returned to her previous home, wanting to visit her mother and tell her the truth about being harmed. Leonie was confused when she saw Lai Run, thinking she had never seen this person before the young Mrs. Death. Yet Lai Run could accurately call out her name. However, since she was here to pay respects, Leonie didn't think too much about it and quickly advised not to mention the young miss in front of the madam. Before entering, she heard the madam's voice. Yun Minglei, now Xiao Xinxin, seemed to have many things she wanted to tell her mother, but didn't know where to start. She could only hold back her tears and enter the house. When she walked in, she found that the couple who had caused her death were also there, right beside her mother. Anger welled up inside her. She wanted to confront them, but she knew no one would believe her now. She could only hold it in for the time being. Looking at this despicable couple, Xiao Xinxin suppressed all her anger, pretending to be calm and acting as if she were Yun Menglei's friend. Xiao Xinxin watched her frail mother stand up, feeling awful inside. She wanted to tell her mother everything, but she knew it wasn't the right time yet. The word mom was on the tip of her tongue, but she couldn't say it. This despicable couple was also trying to curry favor with Xiao Xinxin's mother, pretending to be pitiful. Unfortunately, the mother, unaware of the truth, treated her daughter's killers as people who cared about her. One can only imagine what would happen when Xiao Xinxin's mother finds out the truth. This so-called best friend started causing trouble again, asking why she had never heard Yun Minglei mention her before. If this best friend knew that the person in front of her was actually Yun Minglei, would she be scared to death on the spot? Xiao Xinxin answered the question of this so-called best friend with a kind face, but her eyes were full of murderous intent. After all, one's true feelings can't be hidden in their eyes. The mother, unaware of the truth, still thought the people sitting beside her were good people. She couldn't imagine that these two so-called good children were actually the real culprits who killed Yun Minglei. Xiao Xinxin spoke up, saying she had Yun Minglei's will. After all, she was Yun Minglei, and she could write the will however she wanted. Her mother would surely recognize her. Yun Minglei's boyfriend suddenly jumped up, because they were with Yun Minglei before, and when she died, there couldn't be any will they didn't know about. He questioned the authenticity of this will. The best friend also hurriedly jumped in, trying to confuse the issue and make Yun Minglei's mother believe Xiao Xinxin was making things up. Xiao Xinxin remained calm at this moment, saying whether it was nonsense or not would be clear after her mother read it. Her current body was really in bad shape. Just running these few steps had exhausted her. She wondered how long it would take to get better at this rate. Never underestimate a girl who has made up her mind to lose weight and is already taking action, because you have no idea where this motivation comes from. Although Qiao Xinxin's physical strength was approaching its limit, it still couldn't stop her determination. A sudden news broadcast made Qiao Xinxin, who was in the middle of losing weight, stop. Seeing her so-called boyfriend putting on an act on a TV show made her furious. She vowed to make them pay. Qiao Xinxin came back to her senses. Out of sight, out of mind, she asked the owner to turn off the TV. She wanted to focus on working out and achieving a perfect body. This time, she was determined to stun everyone and make them pay the price. Suddenly, the TV program switched to news about herself, Qiao Xinxin. All netizens expressed their intention to denounce this company and seek justice for Qiao Xinxin. The company stated that they would not accept any interviews regarding this matter. In the following days, Qiao Xinxin continued to follow the contents of her schedule every day. She woke up on time every day to exercise. On Qiao Pengfei's side, because of what happened to Qiao Xinxin, the company decided not to continue operations. But fortunately, Qiao Pengfei didn't owe any wages and paid all salaries on the same day. Due to the current situation, Qiao Pengfei didn't want to burden the employees. 3 months later, one day, while brushing his teeth, Qiao Pengfei heard a knock on the door. He was curious about who would visit at this time, so Qiao Pengfei went to open the door. Unexpectedly, he was greeted by the sight of a beautiful woman with long legs. Qiao Pengfei was stunned at this moment. In his memory, he didn't seem to know this beautiful woman in front of him. The beautiful woman standing at the door was also at a loss. She had just lost weight. How could he not recognize her? Qiao Pengfei quickly came to his senses, looking at her suspiciously. Then he tentatively asked, "Are you Qiao Xinxin?" He invited Qiao Xinxin in and couldn't help but ask how she had changed so much in just 3 months. Then Qiao Xinxin joked, "It's for you." This left Qiao Pengfei confused again. Then Qiao Xinxin asked in return, "How did you know?" Because Qiao Xinxin knew that Qiao Pengfei used to be overweight, but now he was so handsome. Qiao Pengfei didn't expect Qiao Xinxin to ask him this. It suddenly brought back memories of before he lost weight. He used to be quite chubby back then. But then Qiao Xinxin said, "When you were still in school, you were also a big guy, weighing nearly 200 pounds. So how did you lose weight?" Qiao Pengfei fell silent, not knowing how to answer. Qiao Pengfei said he fell in love at first sight with a girl. Yes, this girl was the current Qiao Xinxin, also known as Yun Minglei. He knew he was fat, but he wasn't willing to give up. He still wanted to try, to see if he could use his talent to impress the so-called campus goddess. At the bottom of the teaching building, he arranged candles to spell out, "Yun Minglei, I love you." And Qiao Pengfei himself played guitar and sang, trying to attract Yun Minglei's attention. Unexpectedly, Qiao Pengfei's good intentions were discovered by Yun Minglei's boyfriend, that scumbag. He immediately stomped on the candles Qiao Pengfei had arranged. Yun Minglei's boyfriend, Zhang Feng, who is now the murderer who killed Yun Minglei, also mocked Qiao Pengfei, saying he was too fat to have any right to like Yun Minglei. At that time, Yun Minglei didn't know her boyfriend's ambitions. So to avoid suspicion, she also persuaded Qiao Pengfei to give up, saying he indeed wasn't good enough for her at the moment. Qiao Pengfei immediately held his head in pain. He felt very insecure, not even having the courage to tell Yun Minglei his name. He only blamed himself for being so fat, for being so useless. Later, Qiao Pengfei worked out like crazy, not for anything else, just to prove a point. After losing weight, Qiao Pengfei became much more handsome, but he knew he still wasn't good enough for Yu Menwei. Qiao Xinxin immediately asked, "Do you still like her now? If heaven gave you another chance, would you choose Qiao Pengfei without hesitation?" The words were on the tip of Qiao Pengfei's tongue, but he couldn't say them. Qiao Xinxin immediately pulled out a magazine about Yun Minglei's accidental death. She sighed that liking her now was useless, only blaming herself for being blind back then. But after all, having a second chance at life, she wouldn't let Qiao Pengfei's deep feelings go to waste this time. Qiao Xinxin came to her senses, put her arm around Qiao Pengfei's shoulder, and said, "You still have me," trying to help him move on from these memories. Then Qiao Xinxin started to persuade the naive Qiao Pengfei again. She asked him to acquire her previous company, saying Zhang Feng clearly wasn't a good person. What if Yun Minglei's death was unjust? Qiao Pengfei was now very helpless. After careful consideration, he felt that what Qiao Xinxin said made sense. He immediately agreed to this matter. Seeing that things were successful, Qiao Xinxin also stated that they were now a power couple determined to dominate the live streaming world. Meanwhile, in the CEO's office, Zhang Feng was embracing Yun Minglei's best friend, doing who knows what. The best friend asked, was it true or false when Qiao Xinxin said Yun Minglei had a will? Zhang Feng replied nonchalantly, even if it's real, we can make it fake. Hearing a knock on the door, the two immediately stood up, pretending nothing had happened. The person who came and said that Feng Hairuo had arrived. The three people who really killed Yun Minglei and Qiao Xinxin had actually gathered together. She didn't forget to seduce Zhang Feng even as she was leaving. After being exposed, the best friend couldn't refute. After all, this was the truth. If things got unpleasant, the whole company might find out. Then he asked his assistant to call Feng Hairuo to the office. On the way, people around were discussing Feng Hairuo. Some said she was their goddess, while others mentioned she looked quite different from her live streams. Seeing Feng Hairuo arrive, Zhang Feng smiled and handed her a glass of water. Only he knew what he was plotting. What followed was a round of mutual business flattery. Feng Hairuo then stated that if she were to join their company, they'd have to agree to one condition. Feng Hairuo wanted 10% of the company's shares. This almost made Zhang Feng laugh. She was really overestimating herself. Zhang Feng smiled and said, even if you wanted me, I wouldn't hesitate. Then Zhang Feng walked to the bookshelf and took out a confidential file, handing it to Feng Hairuo. After reading it, Feng Hairuo's face immediately turned pale, and she broke out in a cold sweat. She didn't know what leverage Zhang Feng had discovered. It was probably about poisoning Qiao Xinxin. Zhang Feng smiled and said that as long as he was in this company, this secret would remain unknown. Sure enough, as expected, the matter had been exposed. Evidence of poisoning Qiao Xinxin had been discovered. At this moment, Feng Hairuo's face was pale, not knowing what to do. Zhang Feng tore up the evidence in front of Feng Hairuo, claiming it was to show his sincerity. Whether he had a backup or not, only he knew. He also threatened Feng Hairuo, saying that as long as she obediently followed orders, this matter wouldn't be exposed. Zhang Feng reached out his lecherous hand. Feng Hairuo tried to stop him, but Zhang Feng said if she wanted to be more popular in the live streaming world, she'd have to give more. While drinking red wine, he told Feng Hairuo that next week there would be a movie premiere for a popular young actor, and he wanted to arrange for her to do a live stream. In the hall, Ming Ming was complaining to Qiao Xinxin about Bai Xiaodong's shameful behavior, saying how good Yu Minglei had been to her before, and now she was doing such things. Qiao Xinxin quickly agreed. Given the current situation, finding like-minded people wasn't easy. Then she whispered something in Meng Ming's ear. After hearing it, Ming Ming immediately slammed the table and shouted angrily. Seeing Ming Ming jump up from her chair, Qiao Xinxin quickly tried to calm her down, reminding her they were in a public place. Then she stated that she and Yun Minglei were best friends, and she must avenge Yun Minglei, making that scumbag couple pay the price. Then she encouraged Ming Ming to help her. The justice-minded Ming Ming immediately agreed to help, determined to make them pay, and telling Qiao Xinxin to let her know if she needed anything. On the other side, Qiao Pengfei was depressed again. He couldn't understand why Qiao Xinxin knew so much about Yun Minglei's affairs. In his memory, these two had never crossed paths. At this moment, Qiao Xinxin, having reached an agreement with Ming Ming, walked over to Qiao Pengfei. Seeing him lost in thought, she immediately asked what he was thinking about. Looking at the juice Qiao Pengfei had drunk on the table, she didn't mind. She picked it up and drank it directly. Qiao Pengfei wanted to tell her it was mango juice, and Qiao Xinxin was allergic to mangoes, but it was too late. She had finished it in a few gulps. Qiao Xinxin thought Qiao Pengfei was just being germophobic, forgetting her own mango allergy. Sure enough, drinking too much at once, she immediately passed out. Fortunately, Qiao Pengfei reacted quickly and supported Qiao Xinxin, preventing her from falling. Qiao Pengfei had no choice but to carry Qiao Xinxin back home. When she woke up, Qiao Xinxin was in a daze. When she saw her old photos placed by the bed, she immediately understood everything. Qiao Pengfei's love for her was deep in his bones. Suddenly, she seemed to realize something. Qiao Pengfei knew her so well, even about her mango allergy. Could it be that he had no feelings for her? Actually, thinking carefully, it wasn't that strange. After all, Qiao Xinxin used to be a mukbang streamer and Xiao Pengfei was her manager. He must have learned from past experiences. But Xiao Xinxin didn't realize this. She thought about testing his attitude towards her. She then prepared to seduce Xiao Pengfei. After all, she wasn't as chubby as before. But he was still cooking and making soup, planning to nourish Xiao Xinxin properly. Seeing that Xiao Pengfei wasn't paying attention to her, Xiao Xinxin decided to go further. Unexpectedly, she fell flat as he skillfully dodged her. Xiao Xinxin was immediately stunned on the spot. Fortunately, Xiao Pengfei promptly reminded her to come and drink some soup to nourish her body. He also mentioned that the doctor said her blood sugar was very low recently, so she should drink more chicken soup. But Xiao Xinxin still didn't give up and continued to flirt with Xiao Pengfei. When he heard Xiao Xinxin ask if he liked her, Xiao Pengfei immediately spat out the chicken soup he had just drunk. So he elegantly wiped his mouth and casually said he liked her the most. The persistent Xiao Xinxin still said, "I mean like between a man and a woman." Xiao Pengfei touched her forehead and said, "You're not having a fever. Why are you talking nonsense?" He also mentioned that since the last poisoning incident, her behavior had been abnormal. Xiao Xinxin was speechless. Girls always have a bit of temper, so she pretended to be angry and walked away, telling Xiao Pengfei to drink her chicken soup himself. Still not understanding the situation, Xiao Pengfei said the chicken soup was really delicious, and she shouldn't neglect her health because of dieting. Even if Xiao Xinxin had mental issues, he would take care of her for life. He still persistently tried to persuade Xiao Xinxin, saying he would take her to the hospital for a checkup. Xiao Xinxin proudly raised her little head and looked at him. She then retorted, "You're the one with problems. You're just emotionally dense. Is this how you react when a girl confesses to you?" Xiao Xinxin then made an even bolder move, directly cornering Xiao Pengfei against the wall. Xiao Pengfei softly asked, "If I don't like you, will you be angry?" Xiao Xinxin replied, "If you don't like me, then I'll forcefully kiss you." Xiao Pengfei was immediately confused, wondering what was happening, who he was, and where he was. At this moment, thousands of thoughts flooded Xiao Pengfei's mind, until he heard a knock on the door. Xiao Pengfei rushed to the door in a hurry. Xiao Xinxin, having achieved her goal, smiled. Now she was sure that Xiao Pengfei didn't like Xiao Xinxin. His heart only belonged to Yu Mengmei. As soon as the door opened, a tuft of yellow hair came into view. The visitor asked if Xiao Xinxin lived here. Seeing the visitor, Xiao Xinxin immediately jumped over and hugged him. Xiao Pengfei was stunned. Didn't she just confess to him? How could she now be in someone else's arms? The visitor quickly pushed Xiao Xinxin away, saying not to be so touchy-feely. Xiao Xinxin whispered in his ear that she was Yu Menglei. She then explained to Xiao Pengfei that this was her childhood friend. Xiao Pengfei thought for a long time, but couldn't understand how Xiao Xinxin had a childhood friend he didn't know about. Xiao Xinxin covered the visitor's mouth and asked Xiao Pengfei to cook 2 more dishes, saying she had something to discuss with him. Indeed, this childhood friend must have grown up being beaten by Yu Menglei. Xiao Xinxin only needed to make a slight move for him to recognize that this was undoubtedly Yu Menglei. After all, they grew up together. Then he revealed a small secret that only Yu Menglei and he knew. He also disclosed that the yellow-haired guy had been dating since elementary school, and he knew exactly how many relationships he had been in. The yellow-haired guy immediately stopped him from revealing more. He also confirmed that the Xiao Xinxin standing in front of him was indeed Yu Menglei, who grew up with him. When he was certain that the person before him was Yu Menglei, he hugged her and started crying. After so many years of friendship, learning about Yu Menglei's supposed accidental death must have been devastating. Now, knowing she was still alive, he cried tears of joy. Xiao Xinxin, in her childhood friend's arms, was helpless and slowly began to recount her tragic experiences. After learning the truth, Yu Menglei's childhood friend was furious. He was determined to teach that scumbag couple a lesson and avenge Yu Menglei. So he took out his phone and called his assistant to arrange a mountain climbing trip with Zhang Feng and Bai Xiaodong. He probably wanted to get revenge for Yu Menglei. This action was stopped by Xiao Xinxin. Her childhood friend thought she wanted to let it go, but it turned out she believed this was too simple. She wanted to take back everything they had taken from her one by one. She wanted that scumbag couple to know that Yu Menglei wasn't someone they could mess with. This scared her childhood friend. Indeed, one should never provoke women and petty people. Suddenly, the mood changed. Xiao Xinxin started acting cute, speaking in a coy voice. "Little brother-in-law, please help me, okay?" Her childhood friend, still not used to this, was startled. He immediately waved his hands and said, "Did you eat something bad?" His expression was exactly the same as Qiao Pengfei's. Qiao Xinxin was speechless. Indeed, all men were the same. Fortunately, her childhood friend agreed to Qiao Xinxin's request. He asked how he could help. Qiao Xinxin replied that she wanted to become a top internet celebrity in his company. Her friend didn't understand, asking how this would help her reclaim what was rightfully hers. Indeed, one should never underestimate a woman's revenge. First accumulate capital, sign a high-price contract with Nifeng Live, then frame and bring down Nifeng Live. Her friend immediately asked, "Wasn't Nifeng Live your previous business? What's the benefit of doing this?" Qiao Xinxin then answered that she wanted to take advantage of their bankruptcy, acquire Nifeng Live, and then kick that scumbag couple out. This scared her childhood friend, who exclaimed, "As expected of you, Mingwei, still so ruthless." So Qiao Xinxin firmly asked if he would help her. After all, there were only a few people she could trust now. Her childhood friend immediately agreed, saying, "No problem. How could I miss out on such an interesting event?" It must be said that Qiao Pengfei was truly a good man. Not only was he talented in many ways, but his cooking skills were also first class. As soon as he finished cooking, he immediately called Qiao Xinxin and her friend to eat. Qiao Xinxin and her childhood friend walked over. Her friend immediately introduced himself, saying his name was Tsong Yi, the boss of Tsong Yi Entertainment and their future partner. Qiao Pengfei excitedly asked if they were going to sign a contract with Qiao Xinxin. Tsong Yi proudly said that every artist his company promoted became a top star. Qiao Pengfei hadn't quite processed this and puzzledly asked why they suddenly wanted to sign Qiao Xinxin. At this moment, Qiao Xinxin suddenly jumped in, explaining that they were childhood friends, so of course he would help her. Before Tsong, he could even take a bite of the hot meal. Qiao Xinxin pushed him out the door. She was afraid that during the meal, their conversation might reveal something that would expose her true identity as Yu Minglei. So she had no choice but to send Tsong Yi away. At this point, Qiao Pengfei seemed to be getting closer to the truth. After all, he had known Qiao Xinxin for so many years and had never heard of her having any childhood friends. After dressing up, Qiao Xinxin's aura improved significantly. She called Tsong Yi, wanting to borrow a few bodyguards from him. Tsong Yi was stunned for a moment, then asked why she needed bodyguards. Qiao Xinxin explained that she wanted to shatter the rice bowl of the freeloader, referring to her current boyfriend. Not only did she borrow bodyguards from Tsong Yi, but she also borrowed a senior lawyer from Qiao Pengfei's side. All this was to reclaim the handouts she had given to the freeloader over the years. Seeing the lawyer arrive, Qiao Xinxin was very happy and invited the lawyer in to discuss. She thought to herself, first solve the problem of this freeloader. A boyfriend picked up from the trash should be sent back to the trash. So Qiao Xinxin set off with bodyguards and a lawyer in a grand manner. After dressing up, Qiao Xinxin's aura was at its peak. It seemed she was planning to do something big. Qiao Xinxin arrived at her own doorstep and politely knocked on the door. A woman's response could be heard from inside. As expected, when the door opened, a woman in pajamas was seen inside her house, with an impatient expression on her face. The current Qiao Xinxin wouldn't tolerate her. She directly pushed her head with her hand. The woman who was pushed to the ground looked incredulous, wondering what was happening. Qiao Xinxin's so-called freeloader boyfriend also rushed out, shouting, "Who are you? Breaking into someone's home is illegal." Qiao Xinxin looked at this freeloader boyfriend as if he was an idiot and said mockingly, "The name on the property deed is Qiao Xinxin. You're so brazen about being a freeloader." The freeloader boyfriend looked incredulous, wondering how Qiao Xinxin had lost weight. It seemed they hadn't been in contact for several months. The lawyer hired by Qiao Xinxin directly showed the transfer records to the freeloader boyfriend. He demanded that the freeloader move out immediately and return all the previously transferred amounts, totaling 584,500 yuan. He also threatened that if they didn't comply, they would be sued and meet in court. So they decided to do something even more outrageous. They took out portable loudspeakers and shouted outside, asking everyone to remember the face of this scumbag. They stated that they would broadcast in shifts around the freeloader 24/7 until he agreed to leave. Qiao Xinxin also said she could make them trend on social media, letting them have their moment of fame and face nationwide criticism. This series of actions angered the freeloader boyfriend greatly, but he was helpless. Chow Peng-fei immediately said this tactic was quite shameless. Seeing the situation deteriorating, the freeloader boyfriend immediately knelt before Qiao Xinxin. He started playing the victim, trying to salvage the relationship and hoping Qiao Xinxin would forgive him for old time's sake. But he never expected that the current Qiao Xinxin was no longer the soft and gentle Qiao Xinxin from before. The pink-haired woman also sat up from the ground, shouting, "Lu Haichuan, you promised me that when Qiao Xinxin died, all of this would be ours." This woman was still dreaming of getting rich overnight. Lu Haichuan immediately distanced himself from her, hurriedly trying to explain to Qiao Xinxin. The response to Lu Haichuan was a cold shoe sole. Qiao Xinxin, who had already died once, couldn't possibly be fooled by such a low-level trick. She then said that seeing his face made her sick and lamented how she had picked up such trash and brought it home. So Qiao Xinxin, along with everyone else, kicked this scumbag couple out. Now Qiao Xinxin was radiant. In contrast, this scumbag couple, after being kicked out, probably wouldn't have an easy life ahead. The freeloader Lu Haichuan still threatened, telling Qiao Xinxin to wait and see. He would teach her a lesson. Chow Peng-fei immediately rushed over, standing in front of Qiao Xinxin, afraid she might do something excessive. His boyfriend power was off the charts. Qiao Xinxin gradually developed feelings for Chow Peng-fei. Back at Chow Peng-fei's home, everyone raised their glasses to celebrate Qiao Xinxin successfully dumping the scumbag and starting a new life. Suddenly, Chow Peng-fei's phone rang. It turned out he had secretly investigated Song Yi and discovered that Song Yi was Yu Menglei's good friend. Because he noticed that since Qiao Xinxin was poisoned, she seemed like a different person, becoming very unfamiliar. Qiao Xinxin seemed to suddenly realize something. She rushed directly into Chow Peng-fei's study. As expected, it was discovered that Chow Peng-fei was secretly investigating her. Chow Peng-fei became suspicious. At this moment, Chow Peng-fei also came from behind, intending to check if Qiao Xinxin was alright. After all, she had drunk so much alcohol. At this time, Qiao Xinxin started acting cute again. She pretended to be pitiful and innocent, leaving Chow Peng-fei at a loss. Song Yi also gave Qiao Xinxin an okay signal. Seeing that Chow Peng-fei didn't react, Qiao Xinxin became even more outrageous, desperately leaning on Chow Peng-fei. Song Yi also helped on the side, expressing great sympathy for Yu Menglei's tragic experience. He had a loving family and a steadily rising career, but now he lost his career and became that scumbag. Fortunately, their acting skills were good enough to temporarily deceive Chow Peng-fei, but they knew this couldn't last long. At this moment, Qiao Xinxin began her live streaming journey again. She explained to her audience and fans that she had been absent from streaming due to illness. The comments were full of praise for Qiao Xinxin, saying she looked beautiful after losing weight and could even debut as a celebrity. This made her very pleased. Qiao Xinxin's sudden transformation also caught her fans off guard, changing from a mukbang streamer to one sharing American cooking methods. This kept Chow Peng-fei extremely busy. After all, Qiao Xinxin was just doing mukbangs before, but now she was cooking herself. Cooking was one thing, but she even made Chow Peng-fei do the dishes. Who knows how long he could keep this up? Qiao Xinxin blew a kiss to Chow Peng-fei. Chow Peng-fei was helpless, unable to do anything about this troublemaker he was stuck with. Gritting his teeth, he said that next time Qiao Xinxin should clean up after cooking. Qiao Xinxin didn't care. She thought that next time she would just act cute in front of him again, and Chow Peng-fei's heart would soften, and he would continue to wash the dishes. At this moment, Qiao Xinxin was lying on the sofa, scrolling through her phone, looking at news about herself. Suddenly seeing the words "stunning beauty" in the headline, her mood improved even more. At this time, Chow Peng-fei received a call from the company, requiring him to return for a meeting, so he rushed over in a hurry. All the shareholders had arrived, just waiting for Chow Peng-fei to come. The meeting was about Qiao Xinxin's live streaming transformation. Because he hadn't consulted with the major shareholders in time, they were all holding back their anger. Chow Peng-fei still argued reasonably, stating that Qiao Xinxin did nothing wrong and this transformation was beneficial for the company. One of the shareholders spoke up, saying there was no data to support this and questioned who would be responsible if the audience and fans didn't accept this sudden transformation. Qiao Pengfei said he would take responsibility for all consequences. If Qiao Xinxin were present, she would probably have an even better impression of Qiao Pengfei, as he was strongly supporting her. Then Qiao Pengfei took out the agreement Qiao Xinxin signed with Song E Entertainment. Qiao Xinxin would debut as an artist under Song E Entertainment. Seeing that the shareholders weren't convinced, he also presented data from Qiao Xinxin's streaming platform and today's hot search topics to show that Qiao Xinxin's transformation was accepted by the audience and fans. He then stated that he could see higher commercial value in Qiao Xinxin, asking if the shareholders weren't tempted. None of the present shareholders came forward to refute. After a moment of silence, one shareholder said they would give them a year. If the commercial value increased, they would provide better resources. If not, both Qiao Pengfei and Qiao Xinxin would have to leave. Qiao Pengfei confidently agreed. Seeing that the matter was settled, Qiao Pengfei breathed a sigh of relief. However, the urgent task now was to restart the studio. On the other side, when Fang Hairuo heard that Qiao Xinxin had returned and signed with Song E Entertainment, she was immediately furious. This meant that her opponent had become even stronger. At this moment, Fang Hairuo had lost his reason. He believed that if Qiao Xinxin left Qiao Pengfei, he would be nothing. So he had people investigate Qiao Pengfei's background. After all, this wasn't the first time he'd done such a thing. The assistant handed Qiao Pengfei a pile of endorsements, asking which one Qiao Xinxin should endorse first. Qiao Pengfei asked Qiao Xinxin what type of endorsement she wanted to take on. Seeing she didn't respond, he called Qiao Xinxin's name again. Qiao Xinxin snapped back to reality and told Qiao Pengfei to choose himself, since they didn't even have money to reorganize the studio. Qiao Pengfei carefully looked at the endorsements the assistant handed over, finding they were all low-end endorsements. He knew Qiao Xinxin was going to debut as an artist later, so she couldn't just endorse anything casually. While Qiao Pengfei was hesitating, Qiao Xinxin said she wanted an endorsement from one company. Hearing that Qiao Xinxin wanted to endorse something from Fang Hairuo's portfolio, he said this endorsement would be hard to get. So Qiao Xinxin started playing the victim again, saying she wasn't resigned to it. He almost took her life, but she could only be bullied. This made Qiao Pengfei feel very sorry for her. Qiao Pengfei still said that this brand was notoriously difficult to deal with. Qiao Xinxin then used her reverse psychology, saying if it was too difficult, forget it, that she was being narrow-minded. Qiao Xinxin was too good at this, making Qiao Pengfei act like a nanny. Qiao Pengfei immediately said he would try, but couldn't guarantee success. The assistant was stunned, marveling at how skillful Qiao Xinxin was, easily manipulating Qiao Pengfei. Qiao Xinxin was secretly delighted. Qiao Pengfei, was indeed a straight man, and straight men don't appreciate subtleties. Qiao Pengfei found the executive of that endorsement company and discussed giving Qiao Xinxin the endorsement meant for Fang Hairuo. Fortunately, the executive of that company was also a friend of Qiao Pengfei. Sure enough, Qiao Pengfei's visit meant trouble. The executive spat out the milk he had just drunk. He immediately stated that his brand was a luxury brand, not something anyone could endorse. But Qiao Pengfei remained calm, saying Qiao Xinxin's successful weight loss fit their brand concept perfectly, and her popularity was no less than Fang Hairuo's. The executive thought for a moment and felt that giving it to Qiao Xinxin was indeed better than Fang Hairuo, as it was a better fit. So he hurriedly went back to the company to report to the boss. When Fang Hairuo learned that Qiao Xinxin had snatched the product endorsement position, he couldn't hide the anger in his eyes. He angrily threw away his newly bought phone and vowed to teach Qiao Xinxin a lesson. At this moment, Qiao Pengfei didn't know that his ordeal was about to begin. Suddenly, Qiao Pengfei seemed to be blinded by the high beams of an oncoming vehicle and hurriedly covered his eyes. These two trucks happened to crash into Qiao Pengfei's car. Bystanders around quickly took out their phones to call the police, reporting a car accident. Upon hearing the news, Qiao Xinxin immediately rushed to the hospital. As soon as she entered, she saw Qiao Pengfei lying on the bed with a drip. Qiao Pengfei asked why she came. Qiao Xinxin replied that with him in this state, how could she not come? This sentence immediately made Qiao Pengfei feel much better. He also noted that today's Xiao Xinxin seemed different from usual. On Xiao Xinxin's side, someone told her that her phone had been hacked, probably Fong Hairuo's doing again. The phone was filled with negative news about Xiao Xinxin, saying she used to be so fat, wondering if she had plastic surgery. Xiao Xinxin was unfazed, thinking this was all Fong Hairuo could come up with. It's nothing special. Upon hearing the news, Qiao Pengfei said he wanted to go back immediately to deal with this matter. But Xiao Xinxin told him to rest well. He can't even get out of bed, so there's no need to worry about so many things. She can handle it herself. She also asked Qiao Pengfei to recover well, and she would take care of everything else. The next day, Qiao Xinxin prepared a lot of food to visit Qiao Pengfei. This made him very happy, feeling that all he had done was not in vain. When she saw the surgery notice on the table, she comforted Qiao Pengfei. She told Qiao Pengfei to take good care of himself during this time. So Qiao Xinxin stood by the bed, watching Qiao Pengfei drink the soup she made to the last drop. She was satisfied and muttered softly, "Eat more, get ready for the operating table." The more Qiao Pengfei heard, the more uneasy he felt. It sounded like Qiao Xinxin was talking about pigs in a slaughterhouse. Suddenly, a phone ring broke the silence. The person on the other end shouted at Qiao Xinxin, "It's an emergency. Why aren't you back at the company yet?" Seeing her pitiful expression, Qiao Pengfei couldn't help but laugh. Upon learning that Xiao Xinxin's negative news was exposed, she was being criticized online by trolls. But it's not really a big deal. She was just a bit chubby before, but now she's successfully lost weight. However, the company's shareholders couldn't sit still. Xiao Xinxin looked indifferent, saying to let nature take its course. Taking Fong Hairuo's endorsement and facing retaliation was inevitable. Being a public figure isn't easy, but this will pass. But the shareholders didn't think so. Seeing Xiao Xinxin's nonchalant attitude, they became furious. In contrast, Xiao Xinxin ignored them completely, making the shareholder look like a clown. The investigation Xiao Xinxin requested also yielded results. Qiao Pengfei's accident was indeed planned by Fong Hairuo. This was unforgivable to anyone, let alone Xiao Xinxin. She prepared to counterattack and teach Fong Hairuo a lesson. A sudden reprimand interrupted her thoughts. It turned out to be her little fan, who was defending her online but got scolded by the boss. The boss said, "I hired you to work, not to defend Xiao Xinxin. Does Xiao Xinxin even know who you are?" The poor little fan was reprimanded by the supervisor and lost their job. But Xiao Xinxin wouldn't stand by and do nothing. Xiao Xinxin approached the little fan and invited them to join her studio. The dejected little fan suddenly became excited. Yes, that voice was Xiao Xinxin, their idol. The little fan thought they were dreaming. They couldn't believe they actually met their idol, and the idol invited them to work together. In an instant, all the previous unpleasantness was left behind. The little fan immediately agreed, nodding frantically. It was so intense that Xiao Xinxin wondered if she had recruited an idiot. On the other side, Song, he wasn't idle either. Knowing someone was bad-mouthing his childhood friend online, he counterattacked and stopped it in time. Fortunately, the impact wasn't too big. Song, he was also imagining how Xiao Xinxin would thank him after knowing he helped her. Maybe she would beat him up as a way of showing gratitude. Xiao Xinxin brought her little fan to the temporary studio. After all, they were short on funds and didn't have a good office space. Xiao Xinxin immediately explained her current predicament. The little fan said they understood and would start countering the negative comments right away. Everything was fine before opening the computer. After opening the computer, they couldn't hold it together anymore. They found that the entire internet was criticizing their idol. So they thought about mobilizing bystanders to counter the negativity together. A familiar knock on the door sounded again. The little fan's comment about a tiger fallen to the plains directly broke Xiao Xinxin's composure. The visitor was none other than the number one straight man, Qiao Pengfei. Because he was really worried about Xiao Xinxin, he snuck out of the hospital and rushed straight to her place. Xiao Xinxin asked, "Did you sneak out?" When Xiao Xinxin's little fans saw that the visitor was the celebrity manager Qiao Pengfei, they jumped up from their chair. They expressed how lucky they were to work with their idol and be colleagues with an industry benchmark. This was like a dream come true. Qiao Pengfei, unaware of the situation, stood there stunned, looking at the little fan as if they were crazy. He asked Xiao Xinxin who this person was. Xiao Xinxin explained that this was her newly recruited publicity staff. Then, Xiao Xinxin helped Qiao Pengfei sit on the sofa. It was unclear whether Qiao Xingxing was genuinely cunning or pretending. She directly threw herself onto Qiao Pengfei. The little fan watching from the side was extremely excited, thinking that Xingxing finally had someone to take care of her. Immediately after, the two stood up, acting as if nothing had happened. Qiao Pengfei asked if they needed to send a lawyer's letter to warn those haters and trolls. Qiao Xingxing waved her hand, saying she had already thought of a countermeasure. Qiao Xingxing then started a live stream, openly admitting that she used to be fat. But she wasn't ashamed of it. Instead, she liked her former self and also likes her current self. You can criticize yourself for not being smart enough, but you can't criticize yourself for your body shape. I don't want to live in others' perspectives. Women can be independent and strong. Don't care about others' opinions. Be yourself. After Qiao Xingxing's speech, all fans expressed their agreement with her viewpoint. They also started to counterattack those haters. The little fan immediately used their previously learned editing skills to edit the content of Qiao Xingxing's live stream and distribute it to all platforms. Qiao Pengfei received a phone call informing him that Qiao Xingxing's speech had gone viral, with the video receiving over 1 million likes. On Feng Hairuo's side, because the attempt to smear Qiao Xingxing had failed, she berated her subordinates for their incompetence, raging impotently. After scolding her subordinates, she made threats, saying she would make Qiao Xingxing pay. Qiao Pengfei then received an official call, saying that the perpetrator had been found. He was paid to do it, and the mastermind would be found soon. They told Qiao Pengfei to be patient. Qiao Pengfei was puzzled, saying he was innocent and hadn't affected anyone's interests, so why would someone want to harm him? Qiao Xingxing wasn't planning to let Feng Hairuo off the hook. As long as they found evidence of Feng Hairuo's harmful actions, she would be successfully eliminated. At this moment, Qiao Xingxing seemed to remember something and asked the little fan if they had any marketing accounts. Upon learning that the little fan's marketing account had 100,000 followers, she looked pleased. The little fan immediately asked if they were going to reveal some information. Qiao Xingxing said it wasn't necessary for now. It wasn't time yet. Feng Yi was self-satisfied, thinking that helping Qiao Xingxing turn the tide was his achievement. He probably had already thought about what reward he wanted, but reality gave him a harsh wake-up call. Song Yi, unaware of the truth, was also showing off. The assistant came over to tell Song Yi that the cyberbullying started right after their intervention. Reality also gave him a hard slap. Song Yi arrogantly said, "Mind your own business. What do you know?" Back on track, the assistant had found out that the mastermind was Feng Hairuo. Song Yi was still thinking that Feng Hairuo was just an ordinary internet celebrity. How could she have such great power? But the assistant revealed that Feng Hairuo was the mistress of a certain company's CEO, and the newly signed Nifeng Live was also one of the masterminds behind this. Song Yi put aside his usual joking manner and said that since Feng Hairuo had such a background, they should make her lose both reputation and fortune. Song Yi also started to tattle. Coincidentally, Song Yi happened to know the CEO's wife and secretly went to tell her. He said that his subordinates saw her husband getting very close to Feng Hairuo, enjoying the drama. Song Yi added fuel to the fire, saying, "In families like ours, who doesn't have these kinds of issues? Sister Yuan, don't take it to heart." This infuriated Sister Yuan, who almost crushed her wine glass. Undeniably, Song Yi's actions were truly ruthless. Sister Yuan quickly rushed to Feng Hairuo's workplace. The receptionist apologized to Feng Hairuo, saying she couldn't stop the person who looked furious. Feng Hairuo was actually panicking inside. After all, she had done too many shameful things. Sister Yuan walked directly up to Feng Hairuo. She introduced herself as the legal wife of Feng's lover, the wife of Xinyuan CEO, and the largest shareholder of Xinyuan. She immediately threw a lawyer's letter in Feng Hairuo's face, demanding the return of all expenses previously paid for her, as every penny was marital property. Feng Hairuo gritted her teeth and responded that it was all a misunderstanding. They were just ordinary friends. However, Sister Yuan wouldn't believe her lies. She immediately pulled out evidence and threw it in front of her. She told Feng Hairuo to be careful, return the money, and stay away from her husband. Otherwise, Feng Hairuo would have to change her career. Before leaving, Sister Yuan didn't forget to humiliate Feng Hairuo, thanking her for the services provided to her husband. Feng Hairuo had no choice at this point. She had to swallow her pride. It was her fault for doing such shameful things, which gave Qiao Xingxing an opportunity, directly retaliating against Feng Hairuo. This was much bigger news than Qiao Xingxing's. If not handled well, Feng Hairuo might become a public enemy. Qiao Xingxing, crossing her legs, mocked, What taste does that so have to like a woman like Fong Hairua? Seeing Chao Pengfei preparing to apply medicine himself, Chao Xinxin immediately offered to help, but he repeatedly refused. Chao Xinxin grabbed the medicine and directly pressed it on Chao Pengfei's calf. The pain almost made his soul leave his body. At this time, Chao Xinxin said that things were almost over and told Chao Pengfei to return to the hospital to recover properly. But Chao Pengfei said no. It wasn't over yet, he wanted to stay with her. Chao Xinxin expressed confusion, asking Chao Pengfei why. Chao Pengfei explained that as things progress, cyberbullied celebrities are more likely to commit suicide. He was worried and said this was when she needed companionship the most. Chao Xinxin stood there stunned, betrayed by her boyfriend, framed by her best friend, and now there was someone who considered her at every turn, thinking about her. Her eyes couldn't help but moisten. In the Nifeng Live building, Zhang Feng said that Miss Fong's reputation wasn't good lately. Fong Haro responded that it was just temporary and would pass eventually. But Zhang Feng didn't believe Fong Harua's lies. Temporary? This temporary situation had already caused significant losses for the company. Fong Hairua immediately said she would help earn it back eventually. Zhang Feng got angry, saying this internet celebrity gala was her last chance. If she failed, their cooperation would end. Fong Hairua didn't expect Zhang Feng to be so ruthless, but circumstances forced her, and she had no choice but to agree. Fong Hairua also said this was truly her last resort. Arriving at the gala venue, the host was introducing everyone, and the audience was cheering continuously. Previously, Fong Hairua was number one. This year's dark horse is the representative of independent women, Chao Xinxin, while the audience was continuously booing, discussing Fong Haua's exposed affair. They're all thousand-year-old foxes. Why play strange stories from a Chinese studio? Is Fong Hairua a good person? In the dressing room, Chao Xinxin, who had just entered, heard Fong Hao's mocking voice, teasing her about still being comfortably plump. The current Chao Xinxin wouldn't tolerate her bad behavior. She responded, "Sister Haoa, your chin has become sharper. People might think you're the one who tied up Calabash Brothers," implying that Fong Haoa looked like a snake spirit. Realizing this, Fong Haoa slammed the table and shouted, "You're the snake spirit. A few months apart, and you've become so sharp-tongued." She also accused Chao Xinxin of having an unclear relationship with Chao Pengfei. Chao Xinxin was unfazed, sarcastically saying, "Sister, you'd better spend your energy thinking about how to chase rich merchants." Unable to outtalk Chao Xinxin, Fong Haoa became furious and raised her hand to hit Chao Xinxin. At the critical moment, Chao Pengfei, who had just arrived, stood in front of Chao Xinxin, stopping Fong Haoa's action. Chao Xinxin looked at the newcomer, her eyes full of affection. Chao Pengfei also stated that Chao Xinxin was his person and asked Miss Fong to restrain herself. Suddenly, Fong Haoa's assistant walked to her ear, whispering something. It was probably about reporters waiting outside. After hearing this, Fong Haoa thought of another poisonous plan to frame Chao Xinxin and Chao Hongfei. Fong Haoa violently slapped herself, giving herself a big slap. It seemed quite forceful, even leaving a handprint. Undeniably, Fong Haoa was quite determined to frame Chao Xinxin. At this time, Fong Haoa pretended to feel dizzy, unable to stand steadily. But this could better frame Chao Xinxin. TV station reporters gradually arrived. Sure enough, when the reporters saw Fong Haoa's state and noticed the handprint on her face, they were stunned. Chao Xinxin and Chao Pengfei also came out upon hearing the commotion. So Fong Haoa pretended to be pitiful in front of the reporters. She acted innocent, saying she had no issues with Chao Xinxin and that the handprint on her face was accidentally self-inflicted. Isn't this clearly a case of the lady doth protest too much? Viewers in the live stream also started speculating, saying it was obviously Chao Xinxin who hit her. They said she became arrogant as soon as she got famous. The reporter seemed to think of something and said, "Let's go to the dressing room and have a look." Fong Haoa's manager also seized on this incident, trying to use it to frame Chao Xinxin. Meanwhile, Fong Haoa herself was pretending to be innocent and pitiful on the side, asking him not to say more. This was truly a masterful performance of playing the victim. Chao Xinxin couldn't stand it anymore and said that she didn't hit Fong Haoa. The manager retorted, "If you didn't hit her, are Are you saying our Hyrule hit herself? Well, actually, that's exactly what Fong Hyrule did. Chao Pingfei also helped, asking, "Isn't it obvious that she hit herself?" The surrounding reporters and crowd started discussing among themselves. A young fan who had just arrived, not knowing the situation, asked people around what happened. Someone nearby responded that Fong Hyrule was hit by Qiao Xinxin, and it was caught on the live interview. The young fan still supported Qiao Xinxin, believing she wouldn't do such a thing. They were sure Fong Hyrule was framing her, vowing to defend their idol to the death. Suddenly remembering their small camera was still on, they thought it might have captured the scene. Fong Hyrule wouldn't give them a chance and pretended to accidentally drop and break the camera. She sarcastically said that she accidentally broke the camera. The young fan, realizing what happened, couldn't hold back. They wanted to look better than Fong Hyrule. People nearby tightly held onto the young fan, fearing they might do something extreme. Chao Pingfei, seeing the situation developing unfavorably for Qiao Xinxin, made an important decision. In front of everyone, he said he was the one who hit Fong Hyrule, telling Qiao Xinxin not to cover for him. It was because of the car accident a few days ago that was related to Fong Hyrule. He hit her in a moment of anger. Chao Pingfei apologized to everyone on camera, saying it was all his responsibility and asking people not to harm Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Xinxin couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe Chao Pingfei would take the fall for her. If not handled well, it could ruin his future life. He was risking his future to pave the way for Qiao Xinxin. Fong Hyrule also didn't expect Chao Pingfei to go to such lengths for Qiao Xinxin, willing to risk his future to help her. Fong Hyrule still didn't give up at this point, wanting to continue framing Qiao Xinxin. Just then, the young fan took out their computer, saying the camera automatically stored footage in the cloud. Sure enough, it clearly showed Fong Hyrule hitting herself. Now Fong Hyrule had dug her own grave. The surrounding crowd's condemnation quickly reversed. They couldn't believe they witnessed such drama and demanded Fong Hyrule be banned. Fong Hyrule was now on the verge of collapse, still trying to defend herself. With evidence right in front of her, she still wouldn't admit it. Once confirmed, she would be completely finished. At this moment, Yuan Yuanjia walked behind Fong Hyrule and pretended to accidentally trip her. Both of them fell. Yuan Yuanjia, whether intentionally or not, took the opportunity to scatter photos of Fong Hyrule's affair with her husband everywhere. They were almost thrown in the reporters' faces. The surrounding crowd gathered around. Seeing Fong Hyrule's indecent behavior, they had previously thought it was made up. They didn't expect these photos to fall from Yuan Yuanjia's hands. Seeing that her plan had succeeded, Yuan Yuanjia put aside her usual domineering attitude and pretended to be pitiful in front of the cameras. She claimed her husband had an affair and Fong Hyrule wanted to marry him. Now Fong Hyrule couldn't clear her name even if she jumped into the Yellow River. After speaking, Yuan Yuanjia ran out crying. It's unclear if it was real or fake crying. If it was fake, her acting skills were excellent. Indeed, her wicked smile before leaving confirmed that everything was premeditated. At this point, Song Yi also came out. He and Yuan Yuanjia nodded to each other, confirming that this mission had been well accomplished. After Fong Hyrule fell, her face was distorted. Netizens were excited to witness another big drama. It seemed the rumors about Fong Hyrule's plastic surgery were true. She was truly the #1 internet celebrity green tea. Fong Hyrule now covered her face and ran out. She had no face left to attend the ceremony. Meanwhile, Zhang Feng and Bai Xiaodong were being affectionate on the side, not hiding at all. Qiao Xinxin grew angrier the more she watched. Song Yi suggested they leave quickly to avoid dirtying their eyes. But Qiao Xinxin had a bright idea. Why leave when they were the ones being disgusting? Zhang Feng and Bai Xiaodong walked towards Qiao Xinxin, not realizing she was Yunming Lei. Bai Xiaodong enthusiastically greeted Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Xinxin said she had something to discuss with Zhang Feng. Bai Xiaodong's gaze was fixed on Qiao Xinxin, asking what she wanted to discuss. She was clearly jealous. Zhang Feng said he was just wondering how to solve something and wanted to hear Qiao Xinxin's thoughts. He took her to a quiet place to discuss. Watching Zhang Feng and Qiao Xinxin leave, Bai Xiaodong was grinding her teeth in anger. But she could do nothing and could only stare helplessly. Zhang Feng shamelessly walked to Qiao Xinxin's side. She felt disgusted. Qiao Xinxin then stated that the police had evidence against Fong Hyrule. Fong Hyrule would soon be sent to prison and would find it hard to make a comeback. It would be better to abandon Fong Hyrule. Let me replace her in joining Nifeng live streaming. As long as I get the same treatment as Fong Hyrule. Zhang Feng asked Xiao Xinxin why she wanted to help him. This was just Zhang Feng overthinking. Xiao Xinxin couldn't wait to destroy him. How could she be helping? It was just for her own purposes. So she made up a random reason. She said she just wanted to trample Feng Hairuo underfoot. So, Zhang Feng and Xiao Xinxin reached a temporary cooperation. Xiao Xinxin indicated that the first step of her revenge path had succeeded. Sure enough, the police had obtained evidence and took Feng Hairuo away. Nifeng also terminated their cooperation with Feng Hairuo. At Nifeng Live Streaming's public event, Xiao Xinxin announced that she had joined Nifeng. The surrounding crowd echoed that Xiao Xinxin was loyal, indeed returning to Nifeng Live Streaming. Bai Xiaodong couldn't sit still anymore and directly barged into Zhang Feng's office. She rushed right up to Zhang Feng. This delighted Xiao Xinxin. This was exactly how to sow discord, letting them turn against each other first. Xiao Xinxin teasingly said, "Oh, could this be Mr. Zhang's girlfriend?" Just as Bai Xiaodong was about to say she was Zhang Feng's girlfriend, Zhang Feng interrupted her in time, saying he and Bai Xiaodong were just business partners. Xiao Xinxin sarcastically remarked that Bai Xiaodong was far inferior to Zhang's previous girlfriend, Yin Minglei. How could Mr. Zhang be interested in such a woman? Bai Xiaodong was furious. Xiao Xinxin's words had completely enraged her. Xiao Xinxin dodged Bai Xiaodong's attack and pushed her to the ground. At this point, Zhang Feng came out and told her to stop making trouble, clearly siding with Xiao Xinxin. Indeed, Zhang Feng was still the same person who liked the new and tired of the old. Seeing Bai Xiaodong's discomfort, Xiao Xinxin was very pleased and enthusiastically bid them farewell. At this point, Xiao Xinxin already owned 20% of Nifeng Live Streaming shares. Zhang Feng and Bai Xiaodong, you won't last much longer. So Bai Xiaodong made threats. It's worth noting that the last person who made threats had already been taken away by the police. In the underground parking garage, Bai Xiaodong threatened Zhang Feng, saying she knew everything he had done and they could go down together if necessary. Zhang Feng claimed that he and Xiao Xinxin were just business partners, and that Bai Xiaodong was his true love. You must believe me. How could I betray you? Zhang Feng truly lived up to being a top-tier scumbag. What Zhang Feng and Bai Xiaodong didn't know was that their every move had been recorded, and the person doing it seemed to know Xiao Xinxin. Xiao Xinxin started her live stream. During the stream, she showcased her newly made home-cooked dishes, saying that although they were ordinary, she had her own unique way of making them. Watching Xiao Xinxin's first contracted live stream, the comments were full of praise. When the young fan saw their idol Xiao Xinxin at the top again, they were more excited than if they were at the top themselves. Meanwhile, Ming Ming and Chao Pengfei met up. This confused Chao Pengfei, making it seem like a secret agent rendezvous. He asked Ming Ming if Xiao Xinxin had contacted her. Ming Ming replied with a naive expression. Yes. Chao Pengfei hurriedly asked Ming Ming when she came to find her. Ming Ming felt his tone was a bit urgent and quickly replied it was yesterday. Yesterday, Xiao Xinxin had asked her about Zhang Feng's schedule. Chao Pengfei wondered why Xiao Xinxin wanted to know about Zhang Feng's schedule and what happened yesterday. Looking at how close they seemed, if Chao Pengfei knew the truth, he certainly wouldn't think that way. As if suddenly realizing something, Chao Pengfei immediately stood up and quickly walked out, leaving Ming Ming confused. Zhang Feng began to court Xiao Xinxin, inviting her to dinner that evening. Xiao Xinxin thought to herself, I was afraid you wouldn't take the bait. Zhang Feng also had ulterior motives. Thinking that Xiao Xinxin had Yin Minglei's will, he couldn't let it go just like that. He made an excuse saying, everyone has a love for beauty. I've been attracted by you, Xiao Xinxin. Xiao Xinxin could barely hold it in. She almost threw up. How could there be such a disgusting person? Chao Pengfei, who had rushed over, pushed away Zhang Feng's hand from Xiao Xinxin's shoulder. He said she had other activities and needed to leave. Xiao Xinxin hadn't reacted yet, thinking to herself, I don't have any activities. Chao Pengfei grabbed Xiao Xinxin's hand and quickly left Zhang Feng. Xiao Xinxin asked him what happened. He said nothing was wrong. Xiao Xinxin replied that he didn't seem fine. Chao Pengfei insisted nothing was wrong. It was obvious to anyone that he was jealous. Back home, Xiao Xinxin cursed, saying Zhang Feng was good for nothing except living off women. Xiao Xinxin applied makeup in front of the mirror, complaining, that stupid Zhang Feng, he thinks he can control me. Well, don't blame me for playing along with the scheme. The familiar doorbell rang. It was Chao Pengfei. Xiao Xinxin asked him what he wanted. Chao Pengfei solemnly said, telling Xiao Xinxin not to have dinner with Zhang Feng. His jealousy was more than obvious. Qiao Xinxin teased Qiao Pengfei, asking why. Was he jealous? Unable to face his own feelings, Qiao Pengfei quickly shook his head, saying he wouldn't be jealous of her. Zhang Feng wasn't a good person. Qiao Xinxin came to her senses and said she knew what she was doing. Seeing that he couldn't persuade her, Qiao Pengfei responded, saying they were trying to acquire Nifeng live streaming. But he felt that now she seemed more like she was trying to climb the ladder by getting close to Zhang Feng. Qiao Pengfei grabbed her wrist and advised her. Given time, she would surely become a top streamer. Why did she have to do this? Qiao Xinxin seemed to have something she couldn't say. Not wanting to argue with Qiao Pengfei, she said she would explain to him later. Qiao Pengfei stood in front of Qiao Xinxin, blocking her from leaving. With no choice, Qiao Xinxin explained that to get Nifeng live streaming, she had to fully understand Zhang Feng. Qiao Xinxin stated that Yun Minglei's death was related to Zhang Feng. She was getting close to him to investigate this matter and gather sufficient evidence. Only then could she completely bring down Zhang Feng. Qiao Pengfei apologized to Qiao Xinxin, saying he was too impulsive earlier. He was afraid she would be tricked because Zhang Feng wasn't a good person. Qiao Xinxin gently responded, saying she understood his feelings and asked him to trust her. After getting a positive answer, Qiao Pengfei promised without hesitation to help Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Xinxin teased Qiao Pengfei again, asking if she could leave now. Qiao Pengfei had no choice. He said she could, but she must be careful. Qiao Xinxin turned back with a smile, giving an affirmative response. Someone secretly took photos of Qiao Xinxin meeting with Zhang Feng, planning to send them to Bai Xiaodong. When Bai Xiaodong found out, she was furious. Smash! Another phone was damaged. She stormed into Zhang Feng's office. Holding the photos, she questioned Zhang Feng, saying if she hadn't come, who knows what would have happened. Zhang Feng tried to coax and deceive her, saying Qiao Xinxin had a collaboration with the company. She invited him, and he had to go. But he only had Bai Xiaodong in his heart. Bai Xiaodong seemed to believe what Zhang Feng said, but she didn't forget to threaten him, saying if he did anything to betray her, they would go down together. She would reveal the truth about Yun Minglei's death to everyone. Zhang Feng appeared to give in, trying his best to please her. But in his heart, he thought differently. As long as Bai Xiaodong was around, that secret would eventually be exposed. Bai Xiaodong also held a grudge against Qiao Xinxin, saying she would teach her a lesson. Bai Xiaodong pointed at Qiao Xinxin and shouted, telling her to stay away from Zhang Feng, or she'd be in trouble. Qiao Xinxin laughed, saying, "You're not worthy of self-respect." She mocked, "I heard Zhang Feng was your friend Yun Minglei's boyfriend. How come he became your boyfriend right after she died? You should learn the meaning of self-respect." Bai Xiaodong knew this was true and couldn't refute Qiao Xinxin. She could only swallow her anger. Qiao Xinxin prepared to complain to Zhang Feng, wanting to make Zhang Feng and Bai Xiaodong fight so she could gather evidence more easily. Zhang Feng asked her what happened and why she was crying. Qiao Xinxin cried, saying Bai Xiaodong told her to stay away from him. Zhang Feng became anxious and quickly asked, "Or else what?" Qiao Xinxin responded, "Or else she'd do to me what you did to Meng Lei." After hearing this, Zhang Feng was terrified, breaking out in a cold sweat. In his heart, he cursed Bai Xiaodong for revealing such a secret out of jealousy for Qiao Xinxin. Zhang Feng, coming to his senses, comforted Qiao Xinxin, saying Bai Xiaodong was just trying to scare her out of jealousy. Yun Minglei's death was an accident, and he had nothing to do with it. Qiao Xinxin almost laughed out loud, thinking if she wasn't actually Yun Minglei, she might have believed his lies. Zhang Feng made a tough decision, saying Bai Xiaodong couldn't appear here anymore, or they'd all be finished soon. Qiao Xinxin substituted for Feng Haro, live streaming with a popular young actor. In the audience, someone who might have been a crazy fan saw Qiao Xinxin standing with their beloved idol. They became furious, secretly cursing Qiao Xinxin as a bitch. At this time, the press conference was about to start, and the live stream was almost over. Just as the two were saying goodbye, the crazy fan from earlier threw a drink at Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Xinxin was caught off guard and got soaked. As another bubble tea was about to be thrown at her, Qiao Pengfei rushed over at the critical moment. Just as it was about to hit her, Qiao Pengfei caught the bubble tea, preventing Qiao Xinxin from being embarrassed in public. Qiao Xinxin looked at Qiao Pengfei, feeling more affection for him. The crazy fan rushed onto the stage, saying, "Xiao Xinxin, why are you so close to my idol?" and was about to hit her. But Xiao Xinxin wouldn't let them off easily. She grabbed their wrist and performed a shoulder throw, shocking everyone. Qiao Pengfei secretly marveled, thinking such strength must have taken years of practice. He remembered that Xiao Xinxin couldn't participate in any intense activities due to a knee injury, which added to his suspicions. Song Yi, standing nearby, laughed so hard his stomach hurt. He never thought Xiao Xinxin would have such a day. As expected, Song Yi still ended up in trouble. Xiao Xinxin was looking for a place to vent her anger, and Song Yi walked right into it. Just then, Mo Xiao came over and asked Xiao Xinxin to go for an interview. Xiao Xinxin nodded blankly, agreeing. It seemed Song Yi knew this person and greeted them friendly, saying he came especially to see them today. However, Mo Xiao ignored Song Yi, acting as if they didn't see him, and turned to leave. Song Yi was left standing there alone. Song Yi suddenly turned into a lovesick puppy, calling out Yi's name repeatedly. He mentioned a newly opened restaurant and wanted to invite them. Mo Xiao brushed him off, saying they were busy. Song Yi was confused, thinking he hadn't arranged much work for them recently. So how could they be busy? He turned back and gave Xiao Xinxin a cold look, saying, "I'll remember you, Xiao Xinxin." Xiao Xinxin stood in front of the camera with Song Yi, announcing that she had officially become an artist under Song Yi Entertainment and asked for everyone's support. Reporters quickly asked what plans Song Yi had for Xiao Xinxin. He replied that Xiao Xinxin would be co-starring in a drama with Mo Xiao. Mo Xiao was a bit angry, secretly cursing. "Well, Song Yi, you're treating your little lover quite nicely. Weren't you supposed to act with me? You'll see what's coming." Another person who wanted to trip up Xiao Xinxin had appeared. During filming, Mo Xiao deliberately avoided contact with Xiao Xinxin, causing her to fall to the ground. Then Mo Xiao picked up Xiao Xinxin again. Suddenly, she let go, causing Xiao Xinxin to fall to the ground once more. Mo Xiao claimed her hand slipped and she couldn't catch her, asking the director to reshoot. Xiao Xinxin cursed Mo Xiao in her heart, knowing it was intentional. When Xiao Xinxin stood up to try again, Mo Xiao dodged, causing Xiao Xinxin to fall once more. Xiao Xinxin lost her temper. People around started questioning Mo Xiao, as she was usually professional. What was wrong with her today? Seeing Xiao Xinxin on the ground, Song Yi quickly ran over. Mo Xiao saw how gentle and caring Song Yi was towards Xiao Xinxin and secretly complained. Noticing something off, Xiao Xinxin thought, could it be that Mo Xiao likes Song Yi? Feeling like she discovered something she shouldn't have, she told Mo Xiao, "Song Yi came especially to see you." Mo Xiao ignored Xiao Xinxin and walked away, looking like a girl upset in love. Song Yi remarked that his attempt to please her had failed, as Xiao wouldn't even look at him. After filming, Xiao Xinxin was clearly unwell. Her forehead was hot. She probably had a fever. A young fan said they would go get the car and asked Xiao Xinxin to hang on for a bit. Feverish Xiao Xinxin was mumbling incoherently. A woman hiding nearby saw Xiao Xinxin's assistant leave and quickly approached her. Pretending to be staff, she said she would take Xiao Xinxin to the hospital. The young assistant noticed Xiao Xinxin was gone and saw her being taken away. The assistant quietly followed and saw the woman take Xiao Xinxin to Mo Xiao's room. She thought this vicious woman might be trying to stage a scandal for Xiao Xinxin. The clever assistant came up with a plan. Mo Xiao was stunned, wondering why Xiao Xinxin was there. Then, a group of reporters outside, probably instigated by that woman, came to interview Mo Xiao. Mo Xiao knew if they saw Xiao Xinxin, it would be impossible to clear things up. She opened the door slightly and told the reporters, "This is my home. Does being sent by the company allow you to trespass?" The clever assistant seized the chance to jump in. She planned to carry Xiao Xinxin away first. If discovered, Xiao Xinxin's future would be ruined. The assistant summoned all her strength to carry Xiao Xinxin. Then she jumped out the window. That was close, they almost got caught. The reporters who rushed and seemed to sense something and quickly searched for traces of Xiao Xinxin. What they didn't know was that Xiao Xinxin had already been carried away by her assistant. The assistant slowly walked back, supporting her. As Xiao Xinxin opened her eyes, she saw Qiao Pengfei walking over with a bowl of hot porridge. He advised her not to push herself so hard, saying such a packed schedule would be too much for her body to handle. Qiao Pengfei was determined not to let the company continue to exhaust Xiao Xinxin's body. Zhang Feng, having received news from somewhere, also came to see Qiao Xinxin. This made Qiao Pengfei unhappy, feeling jealous again. Qiao Xinxin said she was fine and asked why he came to see her when he was so busy. She then started acting again, pitifully saying she should quit and not interfere with his relationship with Bai Xiaodong. Qiao Xinxin played this hand skillfully. Zhang Feng immediately comforted her, saying there was nothing between him and Bai Xiaodong, while cursing Bai Xiaodong countless times in his heart. How could you be interfering, he said, while cursing Bai Xiaodong countless times in his heart. Meanwhile, Qiao Pengfei felt a sourness in his heart as if he had lost something. Indeed, Qiao Pengfei had fallen for Qiao Xinxin. After recovering, Qiao Xinxin made an appointment with Bai Xiaodong. Qiao Xinxin told Bai Xiaodong to leave Zhang Feng, turning the tables on her. Bai Xiaodong immediately slammed the table and wanted to leave, but Qiao Xinxin grabbed her hand, saying she wanted to settle accounts. Qiao Xinxin whispered in Bai Xiaodong's ear, "You're of no value to Zhang Feng now. You should know what happens to someone who knows his secrets but has no use." Bai Xiaodong immediately thought that if Zhang Feng could cause Yu Minglei's death, her fate probably wouldn't be much better. Despite her thoughts, Bai Xiaodong still told Qiao Xinxin that her relationship with Zhang Feng was incomparable. Qiao Xinxin scoffed at this, asking if he had said the same to Yun Minglei. What was the result? Didn't you two end up killing Yun Minglei together? Bai Xiaodong quickly responded, saying Yun Minglei's death was an accident and accusing Qiao Xinxin of talking nonsense. After saying this, she turned to leave. Meanwhile, Qiao Xinxin drank the drug juice, unsure if Bai Xiaodong or she herself had spiked it. After drinking the juice, Qiao Xinxin collapsed. Bystanders quickly took out their phones to call an ambulance. Later, an anonymous netizen leaked the news about Bai Xiaodong poisoning Qiao Xinxin. Although there wasn't enough evidence, it planted a seed of doubt in everyone's mind. Upon hearing the news, Zhang Feng quickly decided that Bai Xiaodong couldn't stay and needed to be sent abroad immediately. So, Bai Xiaodong was forcibly taken away by his subordinates. They said it was the boss's orders and asked not to make things difficult for them. Seeing Zhang Feng abandon her, Bai Xiaodong was furious, wondering if she dared to go down with Zhang Feng. Upon learning the truth, Song Yi was also very angry that someone dared to frame Mo Yixiao and Qiao Xinxin. Song Yi said he would teach that freeloader Zhang Feng a lesson, showing him who really runs the entertainment industry. The assistant beside him couldn't believe that the boss could be so serious. Other employees asked Assistant Liu why the boss was so angry. Song He used his connections to seize resources from Adverse Wind live streaming. Mo Yixiao had long seen through everything. Under the guise of seeking revenge for herself, she was actually helping Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Pengfei increasingly felt that something was off with Qiao Xinxin. Since waking up from the poisoning, she seemed like a different person, with her relationships becoming more complex. At this time, Qiao Xinxin was on the phone with Zhang Feng. Qiao Pengfei pretended to pass by Qiao Xinxin, trying to overhear what she was saying. Just then, flowers sent by Zhang Feng to Qiao Xinxin arrived, which Qiao Pengfei happened to see. Full of doubts, Qiao Pengfei came to ask Qiao Xinxin about Bai Xiaodong's situation. Qiao Xinxin, as if not understanding what he was talking about, played dumb, asking, "What situation?" Qiao Pengfei spoke directly. "You told the police that Bai Xiaodong invited you to the bar. With your current personality, how would you agree to meet? You're no longer the kind-hearted Qiao Xinxin you used to be." Qiao Xinxin's temper flared up. She retorted, "I was indeed kind before, but what good did it do me? Heaven didn't punish the bad people. Instead, they're living better than me." Qiao Pengfei was stunned, feeling that Qiao Xinxin was completely different from before, as if she had become a different person. Qiao Pengfei left alone. He left Qiao Xinxin by herself. At this point, she couldn't turn back. No one could stop her revenge. Qiao Pengfei went to the meeting room and asked why Qiao Xinxin's activities had suddenly increased. He really was constantly concerned about her. The company's shareholders scoffed, saying that although Qiao Xinxin's entertainment resources were signed to Song Yi Entertainment, she was still a streamer signed to their company and should make money for them. Qiao Pengfei spoke frankly, "I know what you're thinking. If you have any conditions, just say them." The other party immediately made a request, saying they could reduce Qiao Xinxin's workload, but Qiao Pengfei would have to take on a new streaming goddess Chi-Chi. Considering Qiao Xinxin's health condition, Qiao Pengfei gladly agreed. At this time, Qiao Xinxin was interacting with fans in her livestream. Suddenly, the new goddess Chi-Chi came to Qiao Xinxin's livestream. The assistant mentioned that she was Qiao Pengfei's new talent. Qiao Xinxin was confused about why Qiao Pengfei had started taking on new talent. The newcomer Chi-Chi played innocent, saying she had disturbed Qiao Xinxin's stream. She knew Qiao Xinxin was streaming, but came on purpose, clearly trying to gain attention. There was even a live streaming in progress sign at the door. Chi-Chi had achieved her goal, successfully riding on Qiao Xinxin's popularity. The clever assistant saw through Chi-Chi's intentions. She kindly reminded Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Xinxin said to let it go. It was just a small tactic. What she didn't expect was that worse was yet to come. Soon after, Qiao Xinxin saw Chi-Chi holding Qiao Pengfei's hand, acting cute and coquettish. Riding on Qiao Xinxin's popularity, Chi-Chi successfully secured many endorsements, including some high-end ones. The assistant pointed out that she was copying Qiao Xinxin's strategy. Qiao Xinxin seemed indifferent, stating that they were in a whirlpool of desire and ambition, where any method of becoming famous wasn't surprising. When Qiao Xinxin successfully wrapped up her first drama, Chi-Chi brought Qiao Pengfei to congratulate her, but with ulterior motives. Qiao Xinxin realized that she used to be the one standing beside Qiao Pengfei. Although she disliked Chi-Chi, she had to maintain appearances and politely said thank you out of courtesy. Chi-Chi began her act, calling Brother Peng and saying she forgot her bag in the car, asking if he could get it for her. Qiao Pengfei had no choice but to agree. He seemed to suddenly understand something. It turned out no one was irreplaceable. Qiao Xinxin said she could sacrifice anything for revenge. Neither Qiao Xinxin nor Mo Yixiao noticed anything wrong. Just as Mo Yixiao was about to drink water, Qiao Xinxin noticed the water's viscosity was high, more like glue. She acted quickly, slapping the water bottle out of Mo Yixiao's hand. Confused, Mo Yixiao stood there stunned. Qiao Xinxin explained to Mo Yixiao that it wasn't water, but glue. The spilled glue got on Mo Yixiao's clothes. She touched it. Indeed, it was glue. Mo Yixiao also said thank you to Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Xinxin took the opportunity to tease. To hear a thank you from a big star, I'm truly blessed. Mo Yixiao couldn't understand why Qiao Xinxin was still willing to help her despite how badly she had treated her. After leaving, Qiao Xinxin felt like someone was watching her from behind. When she got home and opened the door, she found things scattered everywhere. Someone had broken in. Qiao Xinxin immediately checked her cash and jewelry, finding nothing missing. Suddenly, a knock on the door startled Qiao Xinxin. She looked through the peephole and saw no one at her door. She suddenly realized something was wrong. The person outside became more aggressive, scaring Qiao Xinxin so much that she fell to the ground. Her first reaction was to call Qiao Pengfei. But on the other end, it was the green tea bitch Chi-Chi who answered, saying Qiao Pengfei was busy, and then hung up. Qiao Xinxin felt desperate at this moment. She couldn't get through to Song Yi's phone either, so Qiao Xinxin could only ask that person for help. That person quickly came over and yelled at the people outside, telling them to get lost. When Qiao Xinxin heard no more noise outside, she slowly opened the door. The person who came was indeed Mo Yixiao. Qiao Xinxin expressed her gratitude for Mo Yixiao's help. Mo Yixiao said it was nothing, just repaying the favor from before. He then walked straight into Qiao Xinxin's home. Qiao Xinxin asked what he was doing. Mo Yixiao said he was staying with her, just in case. The next day, when Qiao Pengfei saw the missed call, he rushed to Qiao Xinxin's home. He arrived just as Mo Yixiao was leaving, and thousands of thoughts raced through his mind. The three of them stood there, looking at each other in bewilderment. Mo Yixiao said goodbye to Qiao Xinxin. Qiao Pengfei, not knowing the truth, didn't listen to Qiao Xinxin's explanation. He immediately accused her of using any means necessary for her career. At this moment, Qiao Xinxin felt very wronged. Qiao Pengfei hadn't listened to her explanation and had casually accused her. Qiao Xinxin felt desperate and said that this was who she was, and he just hadn't realized it before. This was Qiao Xinxin's most vulnerable moment. She then shut Qiao Pengfei out. She came to terms with it, thinking that people like Zhang Feng would eventually stop at nothing. It was better for Qiao Pengfei not to get involved. Afterwards, Qiao Pengfei seemed to become a different person, treating employees much more harshly. No one knew what had happened. At this time, Qiao Pengfei saw a message from Chi-Chi asking if she had gained weight recently. Qiao Pengfei remained silent for a moment before responding. He said she had indeed gained quite a bit of weight and should eat less. This killed the conversation, leaving Chi-Chi speechless on the other end of the phone. Chi-Chi didn't give up. To gain better resources, she tried hard to please Chow Peng-fei, bringing him food and saying it was her first time cooking. She even fed him by hand, asking him to try it. The little assistant couldn't stand it anymore and secretly complained about this woman, wondering why she was always hanging around Brother Peng, who was the assistant's idol. At this time, Chow Qingqing came to find Chow Peng-fei. When she opened the door, she found Chi-Chi there. Chi-Chi affectionately called Chow Peng-fei Peng-fei, saying he would be here soon and asking Chow Qingqing to sit for a while. Chow Xinxin couldn't believe they had reached this point. Chi-Chi said she didn't intentionally steal her resources. It was just that Chow Peng-fei gave them to her, and she couldn't refuse. Chow Xinxin immediately realized that her recent decrease in activities was because they had all been given to Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi saw that Chow Peng-fei was about to enter the room. She switched on her green tea mode, claiming there was nothing between her and Chow Peng-fei and asking Chow Xinxin to stop scolding her. Chow Peng-fei, already in a bad mood, entered and asked what they were doing. Chi-Chi ran to Chow Peng-fei's side, grabbing his arm and playing innocent. She said she and Chow Peng-fei had gotten too close, which made Chow Xinxin unhappy and scold her. Chow Xinxin couldn't believe such a cliché copyright situation was happening to her again. She had imagined the script. Chi-Chi should have said she was hit, then Chow Xinxin could go and slap her to make it real. Why wasn't it following the script? Chow Peng-fei asked Chow Xinxin if she had anything to explain. She calmly said no. Chow Xinxin imagined how Chow Peng-fei would talk about her. She had come to terms with it. This was the best time for a break, so Chow Peng-fei wouldn't be implicated. To Chow Xinxin's surprise, not only did Chow Peng-fei not blame her, he said to Chi-Chi, "I've been in this industry for so many years. These little tricks are outdated." Chi-Chi could only play dumb at this point. Chow Peng-fei pointed to the camera in the corner, saying it could record audio. He asked if they wanted to check the footage and advised that if one wants to be famous, they should behave. Chow Xinxin watched Chi-Chi being scolded. She felt this wasn't what she had imagined. She hadn't even explained, yet he believed her without hesitation. Chow Peng-fei must have discovered something, so he tentatively said, "These are walnut cookies from a friend. They're delicious, try some." But Chow Xinxin casually replied that she couldn't eat walnut cookies as she was allergic. Chow Peng-fei mentioned that during a previous live stream, she had eaten 10 boxes of walnut cookies without any allergic reaction. However, Yun Minglei was allergic to walnut cookies. This startled Chow Xinxin, who thought she had been discovered. Chow Peng-fei continued, saying her behavior was becoming more and more like Yun Minglei's. He asked why she was imitating Yun Minglei. Chow Xinxin was stunned for a moment before realizing that Chow Peng-fei hadn't discovered her secret, but thought she was imitating Yun Minglei. After all, being reborn in someone else's body was something no one would believe. Chow Xinxin went along with Chow Peng-fei's words, saying she was indeed imitating Yun Minglei. She explained that she, Yun Minglei, and Song Yi were childhood friends. Yun Minglei's death was related to Zhang Feng, and she absolutely wouldn't stand by idly. She would find evidence of Yun Minglei's murder. She would seek revenge in Yun Minglei's way. At this moment, Chow Xinxin appeared especially great in Chow Peng-fei's eyes, his eyes full of admiration. After finishing, Chow Xinxin let out a long sigh. She had successfully drawn Chow Peng-fei into her camp. Chow Peng-fei expressed that he would find the truth for Yun Minglei and not let her die in vain. Chow Xinxin once again emphasized the danger of this mission. Because they were seeking revenge against Zhang Feng, they didn't know what accidents might occur. Chow Peng-fei firmly stated that for Yun Minglei's sake, he would investigate to the end. Chow Xinxin gratefully said, "Then let's find the truth together, avenge Yun Minglei, and bring down Zhang Feng." A sudden phone ring interrupted their thoughts. After answering the call, Chow Xinxin's face changed dramatically. She learned that her mother, Mrs. Yun, had fallen down the stairs and was now seriously injured and unconscious. Chow Xinxin immediately hung up and rushed to the hospital, with Chow Peng-fei following closely behind. Arriving at the hospital, Chow Xinxin immediately asked the doctor about Mrs. Yun's condition. The doctor said the patient had suffered severe trauma to the back of her head, damaging brain tissue. Her life was saved, but it would be difficult for her to regain consciousness. Upon hearing the bad news, Chow Xinxin stood there in shock. Chow Peng-fei comforted her. Chow Xinxin said Mrs. Yun had been very good to her. and with Yun Minglei gone, she wanted to take good care of her. Chow Ping-fei said he would help too. He grabbed the doctor's arm and asked if there were any other treatment options. The doctor replied that if finances allowed, they recommended treatment abroad. There might still be hope. Xiao Xinxin said tearfully that she would find a way. Just then, the Yun family's butler came in crying, saying it was all his fault, that he was the reason Mrs. Yun got hurt. He blamed himself for taking a day off to go home. If he hadn't, Mrs. Yun might not have been injured. Xiao Xinxin consoled him, saying it wasn't his fault. It was an accident that no one wanted. Suddenly remembering something, Chun Yi widened her eyes. She said when she returned in the afternoon, she was told that Mrs. Yun had fallen down the stairs. She saw 2 teacups on the table in the living room, meaning someone else must have been there. The doctor nearby also said that Mrs. Yun's condition was strange. Usually, patients with accidental injuries don't have defensive wounds, but your mother has them. The specific situation needs further examination to confirm. Hearing this news, Xiao Xinxin was stunned. She stood there blankly, wondering if her mother's fall wasn't an accident after all. She lamented inwardly, saying she hadn't done anything wrong. So why did she end up with nothing? She just wanted justice, so why were they treating her like this? Seeing Xiao Xinxin in tears, Chow Ping-fei felt uneasy. He stepped forward to comfort her, telling her not to worry, that he would also take care of Mrs. Yun. Xiao Xinxin quickly expressed her gratitude, knowing that Chow Ping-fei would never lie to her. Chow Ping-fei shyly scratched his head, saying he was doing this for Yun Minglei too. The next day, Xiao Xinxin attended an event with Zhang Feng. Xiao Xinxin accidentally grabbed Zhang Feng's arm. She quickly apologized, but inwardly wondered why Zhang Feng had scratches on his hand. Could her mother have been harmed by Zhang Feng? Meanwhile, Xiao Xinxin's assistant complained to Chow Ping-fei that Xiao Xinxin's endorsement list was getting shorter and of lower quality. Even baby product ads were coming in. She also mentioned that Xiao Xinxin's resources were being given to Chi-Chi by the company. Chow Ping-fei and the assistant both grumbled that the company forgets old talents when new ones arrive. At this moment, Chi-Chi came to Chow Ping-fei's side, acting coy and inviting him to eat together. The assistant thought to herself that Chow Ping-fei was her idol Xiao Xinxin's. Chow Ping-fei said he would take her to meet director Liu today to discuss the Paris fashion show. Chi-Chi's eyes lit up. She knew director Liu, who was known as the fashion devil. Chi-Chi then acted cute, saying Chow Ping-fei was the best to her. This angered the assistant, who couldn't believe even Chow Ping-fei had turned to Chi-Chi's side. On their way, they happened to meet Xiao Xinxin. Chi-Chi came over to show off, saying Chow Ping-fei was taking her to meet director Liu. She then asked Xiao Xinxin if she wanted to come along. Afterwards, she said sarcastically that this resource was introduced for her, and it might not be appropriate for Star Sister to go. Xiao Xinxin didn't want to engage with her, and said she didn't need to, as she wasn't interested in this. Chow Ping-fei's real purpose wasn't for Chi-Chi, but for Xiao Xinxin. He threatened the boss to give Xiao Xinxin's resources back to her. The boss laughed and asked what he could do otherwise. Chow Ping-fei calmly stated that Chi-Chi's fashion resources were introduced by him, so they could naturally be taken back. He asked if the boss could find similar resources for Chi-Chi if he took them back. After saying this, he walked out of the office smiling. The boss had no choice but to agree to Chow Ping-fei's demands. Meanwhile, Xiao Xinxin's studio was officially established. Fans around sent their blessings, and Chow Ping-fei was struggling internally. Was his feeling for Xiao Xinxin really just that of a work partner? Why did he feel jealous when he saw Xiao Xinxin with Zhang Feng? This could only be explained as being too close to see clearly. Chow Ping-fei dared not face his own heart. When Xiao Xinxin learned that her mother's condition had worsened, she rushed to the hospital. Outside the operating room, the doctor said the patient was in surgery and couldn't be disturbed. The doctor stated that the patient's condition had worsened, but this hospital was unable to handle it. Xiao Xinxin quickly made a phone call, asking to sell her Nifeng livestock in order to send Mrs. Yun abroad for better treatment. Looking at her severely injured and unconscious mother, Xiao Xinxin felt helpless. Who could understand this feeling of powerlessness? After returning from the hospital, Xiao Xinxin packed her schedule full, not leaving herself a moment's rest. Various endorsements, various dramas. Because Xiao Xinxin had withdrawn a lot of funds from the studio to save her mother, she was now working desperately to earn money. Her assistant watched with concern. At this moment, Song Yi and Chow Ping-fei rushed into Xiao Xinxin's studio, startling her. Song Yi quickly turned on the TV. Xiao Xinxin didn't understand this action and hurriedly asked what he was doing. The scene on TV made her eyes widen. The news reported that Mrs. Yun had transferred her shares, making Zhang Feng the largest shareholder. On TV, Zhang Feng was acting sanctimoniously, saying that Yun Menglei's mother said she was getting old and had no children, so she let him manage the company. Knowing her mother's personality, Xiao Xinxin immediately declared this impossible. Her mother would never sign a transfer agreement. Recalling Chun Yi's earlier account and Zhang Feng's various behaviors, Xiao Xinxin understood everything. It must have been Zhang Feng who pushed her mother. She directly stated her judgment, saying it must be Zhang Feng who pushed Mrs. Yun down for money. Xiao Xinxin also provided evidence, mentioning that she had seen scratches on Zhang Feng's wrist earlier, and the doctor had told her that Mrs. Yun had defensive wounds. This couldn't be a coincidence. Song, he said this kept man was eating his meal too hard, even committing such an unfilial act. He wouldn't let him get away with it. Chao Pengfei then suggested checking the surveillance footage. Checking Mrs. Yun's home surveillance would provide evidence of Zhang Feng entering the Yun residence. Song Yi quickly went to the Yun residence to operate the system. Unable to find the surveillance footage, Song Yi repeatedly asked Chun Yi to confirm if the surveillance was here. In the end, they found nothing. All surveillance footage had been deleted. Chao Pengfei said there might be another way. Everyone's eyes turned to him. He then explained that things deleted from a computer leave traces on the hard drive. With an expert, it might still be possible to recover. So he took out the hard drive, saying this was their last hope. Xiao Xingxing and Mo Yixiao attended the film opening ceremony. Fans below exclaimed that Xiao Xingxing and Mo Yixiao were too perfect together. Truly a talented man and beautiful woman. At this moment, Xiao Xingxing accidentally twisted her ankle. Fortunately, Mo Yixiao quickly reached out, directly holding Xiao Xingxing's waist to prevent her from falling. This embarrassed Xiao Xingxing terribly. After all, it was in public. Just then, Song Yi walked over and happened to see this dramatic scene, his face darkening. Xiao Xinxin was about to explain, but Song Yi didn't even listen and turned to leave immediately. Mo Yixiao still held on to Xiao Xinxin's wrist, not letting her leave. He said they still needed to take photos later. This angered Song Yi so much that he left the scene immediately. After returning home, Xiao Xinxin was applying a face mask while thinking about how to explain to Song Yi when she suddenly heard a knock on the door. She found that the visitor was actually Song Yi. He grabbed Xiao Xinxin's shoulders, crying and saying he was so miserable. His heart was in pain. Mo Yixiao didn't love him anymore. Song Yi slowly vented to Xiao Xinxin, saying how hard it was to like Mo Yixiao. When he got close, he feared burdening him. When he stayed away, he feared Mo Yixiao wouldn't see his good qualities. Indeed, Xiao Xinxin's judgment was sharp. She had noticed something off about these two earlier. Unexpectedly, Xiao Xinxin had been on a voice call with Mo Yixiao. Everything Song Yi had just vented was heard by Mo Yixiao. This made Song Yi extremely embarrassed. Xiao Xinxin said, "You heard everything. Now come and take him away." Shortly after, Mo Yixiao hurriedly arrived, picked Song Yi up, and left, saying he'd repay her another day. The next day, Xiao Xinxin came to Song Yi's office. As soon as she entered, she saw the two being affectionate. Xiao Xinxin remarked that she was still there. Song Yi teased Xiao Xinxin, saying, "Oh, there's a single dog here. The damage is low, but the insult is extreme." Xiao Xinxin couldn't be bothered with Song Yi and asked seriously, "You called me here? What's the matter?" Mo Yixiao took out a photo clearly showing Zhang Feng holding Yun Minglei's mother's ID card. Xiao Xinxin was momentarily stunned and asked Mo Yixiao how he knew Mrs. Yun was her mother. Mo Yixiao said Song Yi told him, and that he wanted to join their revenge alliance. Xiao Xinxin was very excited and thanked him. After all, more people meant more strength, especially a popular young star. At the Yun family's property management office, they were told the footage had been taken away, reportedly to the repair department at Tianqiao South for restoration. Upon learning the footage had been taken, Xiao Xinxin hurriedly drove to the repair department. Fortunately, it hadn't fallen into Zhang Feng's hands. Xiao Xinxin successfully obtained the video hard drive. Speak of the devil, she saw Zhang Feng running towards her like a madman. She realized he might also be here for the footage. So Xiao Xinxin crouched down, firmly blocking the doorway. Zhang Feng twisted the doorknob, wondering why he couldn't open the door. At this moment, Xiao Xinxin was calling for outside support, saying she couldn't hold on much longer. In an instant, Zhang Feng managed to open a gap in the door. Fortunately, Qiao Xinxin held the door firmly, nearly crushing Zhang Feng's leg. At the critical moment, outside support arrived. Qiao Pengfei tightly covered Zhang Feng's head with a bag, saying the situation was urgent and this was the only option. Whether it's the best plan or not, any successful plan is a good plan. Qiao Pengfei signaled Qiao Xinxin not to speak. Zhang Feng, with his head covered, was struggling randomly. By sheer coincidence, he grabbed the person behind it all, which was Qiao Xinxin. He shouted, "Who are you?" Seeing Qiao Xinxin caught, Qiao Pengfei pushed Zhang Feng. As soon as Zhang Feng let go, Qiao Pengfei signaled her to run, saying he would hold him off. After removing the bag from his head, Zhang Feng recognized Qiao Pengfei and angrily asked what he was trying to do. Qiao Pengfei made up an excuse, grabbed Zhang Feng's collar, and shouted at him to stay away from Qiao Xinxin. Zhang Feng also counterattacked, saying he would never give up on Qiao Xinxin. The video of Qiao Pengfei and Zhang Feng fighting on the street was also exposed online. Tabloid media took advantage of this, claiming Qiao Pengfei and Zhang Feng were fighting over Qiao Xinxin out of jealousy. Netizens commented on Qiao Xinxin, saying she had connections with many men, completely shattering her public image. Qiao Pengfei's employees, seeing him fight, called him handsome. Qiao Xinxin's studio was in chaos. Various endorsements were canceled, overwhelming the assistant who was busy explaining everywhere. Qiao Xinxin returned and said all endorsements were canceled except one. The studio might not be able to pay salaries. Qiao Xinxin didn't expect the situation to become so serious. Qiao Xinxin knew if this issue wasn't resolved, the outcome for her and Qiao Pengfei would be ugly. So she began to counterattack, claiming she was dating Zhang Feng, and that Zhang Feng was hot and cold towards her. Qiao Pengfei was standing up for her. On Zhang Feng's side, the company's shareholders gathered, expressing disgust at Zhang Feng's behavior, using the Yun family's money to support another woman. The rumors were affecting the stock market. They said this matter needed to be resolved quickly, otherwise they would convene a board meeting to discuss whether he could continue to stay. At this moment, Zhang Feng was furiously helpless. He could only vent his anger on the table. The table wondered what it had done wrong. As Zhang Feng turned his head, he noticed something on the table. Upon closer inspection, he broke out in a cold sweat. On the table was a photo of him and Yun Minglei. Zhang Feng immediately shouted, asking who put it there.